Hey, what's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing today? How you guys doing? Welcome in. Welcome to my domain. Superfan Electric just joined. Sorry. I don't know if I'm supposed to be singing your guys' names. Is that what I'm supposed to do? I still haven't quite got this creator thing down. Am I supposed to just sing your guys' names as they come in? As you guys come in? Be like, yo, yeah. There's like creators that do that, right? They just rap your name as they come in. Have you guys seen those guys? They just like rap your name as you come in. Yo, Lynn, Cat Mob, Electric, yo, VJ, CJ, ZJ. I don't know how to do this. I'm not good at this. That's all I had. That was literally the extent of my guys. If I could have been a rapper instead of doing this, do you think I'd be here? Okay. You think I would have been here? No, I'd be on TV someplace. Okay. I'd be a SoundCloud rapper with 1 billion views. Okay. I'd be a SoundCloud rapper with one actual billion views. Okay. I'd be on there just like yeet, 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 skirt. Drop that. Hey. You never loved me, Mom. 1 billion streams. 1 billion. It'd be 1 whole billion. Okay. Guys over here mess with me. Think I won't do it. I'll take this whole thing. Okay. We'll take this whole thing to the streets. Okay. Oh my goodness. I'd be a good SoundCloud rapper. I'm a few face tattoos short of being a good SoundCloud rapper though. That's the only problem. All right. I'm a few face tattoos. I need like a, I don't know. I don't know what the cool SoundCloud rapper face tattoos are. You guys know any good SoundCloud rapper face tattoos? That is a necessary part of being a SoundCloud rapper. Okay. You have to have face tattoos. All right, good job, Corey. And you have to drink. You have to drink a lot of lean. Corey says I need to drink way more lean. Okay. Currently, I drink 0 lean. So So I would have to, I'd have to go up a lot higher than that. Thank you, Mike. I'd have to go up a lot higher than that because right now I'm at 0. I'm at 0 face tattoos and 0 lean. All right. Oh, you guys think I could be the next island boy? I could be the next island boy. See, someone said I was showing my age. Okay. Someone was like, "You're showing your age, Polly." Someone said that. And then somebody in my chat, one person said, "What's SoundCloud?" And another one said, "What's lean?" Okay. So let's not talk about me showing my age. Okay. I know the lingo. Okay. I know the lingo. I'm hip or whatever. Moderator says that's a lot of face tattoos. Just to be completely honest with you, all face tattoos are a lot of face tattoos. And my little brother and my little cousin both have them, like a whole bunch. And I'm just letting you know that all face tattoos are a lot of faces. If you have face tattoos, I'm not judging you. Okay, I'm not judging you at all. Okay, hope you have a wonderful life. I'll hang out with you. We'll go have drinks together. I don't care. I hope society treats you better. It's still so many tattoos. Okay, it's still like so many. I'm just saying my opinion. It's just a lot. All right. I watched this guy. I think his name is I think it's Jeremy something. Anyways, I watched like all of his videos, and he's one of those guys who did like 8 years in prison and then like talks about things that happen in prison. And he has like so many, like his whole face is just like super colorful prison tats. Like there's so like the whole thing. I want a ruler tattooed on my hairline. That's cool. So my cousin has a razor blade going across here. My little brother actually has like an upside down cross on his face. He has all sorts of stuff. I'm just saying. I think really what I'm just saying is I wish I had your guys's like, how do I say it? I'll put it this way. This is how I put it. Okay. This is how I'll put it. All right. I love tattoos. Okay. And every single time I get a tattoo, even if it's a place that like nobody's gonna see, I have damn near an anxiety attack. All right. I have damn near an anxiety attack every single time. Does not matter. I don't know why. Okay. But I go in there, I sign up, and then I have almost a half a heart attack in the tattoo shop waiting for the guy or girl to get ready. Like whatever. Right. So like I get super freaking nervous and I have to like just like force myself to like sit down, and then once it started like I'm good. But like getting like my brain is telling me the whole time like stop immediately, don't do this, right? And all I'm saying is if you can do that with your face, then you're just a better person than me. Okay? You have more willpower than I do. Okay? You have more willpower than I do. I can't do it. Ted had said your parents hate tattoos. Abso-fucking-lutely they did. Abso-fucking-lutely they did. 100%. See, this is why I come to you guys. I'm actually having like a full like psychology appointment right here. Yes, 100% they hated tattoos. Hated them. I've told you guys I grew up in like a very like conservative Christian home, right? I don't mean conservative like politically. I mean conservative like religiously. Right? Like incredibly. So no, tattoos were not an okay thing. Corey, do we get paid for this? If I'm not getting paid for the psychology appointments I have to do on MAGA, then you guys sure as hell aren't getting paid for this. Okay. So yeah, the fact that I have as many tattoos as I have is pretty crazy. I will say, my mom who hates tattoos, I showed her my arm right here with the Bernstein Bears tattoo on, and she actually loved it so much she started crying. So, like you said, you're saying how does my mom feel about it? Well, again, my little brother has a literal upside down cross tattooed on his face. Okay, he has tattoos of on his shoulders of the devil pulling him back. Okay, I have cartoon bears. Okay, she's chilling pretty good. Okay, I'm not the issue. I'm not the issue. Okay, so please reveal your community gift. You can find it by tapping live gifts. I can't do that. I don't think I can do that on Studio. So yeah. Anyhow, Polly, any tats you regret? No, I do not have a singular tattoo that I regret. Not a singular one. I'm getting more. What are you talking about? I just got one 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago? Whatever the last Friday the 13th was. Yes, it was tatted. Paul was the upside down cross. It's also been a very big Satanist symbol and stuff. Yeah. What did I get? I got a Friday the 13th tattoo on Friday the 13th. It was Friday the 13th, the day before Valentine's Day. And so I got a Valentine's Day Friday the 13th tattoo. I showed it to you guys. Were you guys not here? It's a small one. I'm starting to fill out my arm over here. You never saw? I'll pull it out in a second. It's getting kind of hot up here anyway. Polly, if you marry Ari, would you tattoo your name, her name on your body? Absolutely fucking not. No. Absolutely not. Nope, I'm good. I have one person's name on my body. Okay? One. I have one person's name on my body. Okay? That's my kid. And she can't stop being my kid. Okay? Even though she hates me, she's still my kid someplace. She can't divorce me on that one. So, and I got that I think I got that it was a week or two after she was born. Yeah, it was a week or two after she was born. So, and that's right here, across my heart. So, in case I forget her name, it also has her birthday on there. In case I forget that. People will be like, oh, when's your daughter's birthday? I'll be like, let me go to the bathroom and check the mirror real quick, and I will let you know. All right. Just let me take quick trip to a mirror in the bathroom. You guys have mirrors in the bathroom, right? I'll just go check real quick. Okay, cool. That's her name. That's her birthday. Now we can go. We can go. We can go over there. Yeah, I agree. I agree, lady. I think that if you do want to symbolize a partnership, I think that's totally fine. I'm not getting anyone's name tattooed on me. That's me personally, besides my daughter's. So that's just me personally. Okay. But teach their own. Teach their own. All right. Trust me, I love watching the videos, okay, of people getting their partners like their I've had a girlfriend for 4 months. I'm gonna get her name tattooed on my face. I love that. Yeah. Guys, it's forever. We've been together for like 4 months, so it's time to get her name tattooed on my face. Obviously. Okay? It's for you guys just don't understand love. Okay? You guys just don't understand love. All right? Look, I am 19 years old, okay? I know what I'm doing, okay? I'm an adult. I know what I'm doing, all right? We love each other. Ted had said I should get my shin done. So it's actually funny. I have 0 tattoos on my legs. 0. I already know which one I'm getting on my leg. Like my first one I'm getting on my leg. I just haven't found the time, the money, or the artist yet. But I know what I'm getting. Make sure you guys are on TikTok. You follow this account too. It has my symbol. It's called Polly's Mom's Basement. So since they always say I'm in my mom's basement, where's that? That way. That way. Follow that one too. Yeah, I have 0 done on my legs, but I want to. I'm gonna get. Well, I'm gonna get Summer a portrait of Summer tattooed on my calf. That's gonna be my first leg tattoo. So I've already decided. It's already become a thing. So once I find the right artist, I'm doing that on my left calf. So if any of you guys are really good tattoo artists, and don't just be telling me you guys are don't be telling me you guys are good tattoo artists and then be over there being janky, okay? Don't be like, I'm the best tattoo artist ever. I tattoo out of Pookie's house in his living room. Like I don't do that shit. All right. You better come with a portfolio and a shop that looks sanitary. Okay. I had a buddy of mine who got I'm great, you'd be my first. Yeah, exactly. I had a friend of mine who literally just got this like a whole bunch of like Japanese traditional work on his left arm, and that shit got infected. And yeah, that wasn't fun at all. Not fun in the slightest. Yeah. I do my tattoo over Pookie House. Olivia, thank you so much for the $2. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Tatted, I'm actually going to get back to that comment in 1 second because I actually do want to address that comment. Sorry, is that phone been ringing? No. I do actually want to address that comment in a second. Olivia, thank you so much. Said you're amazing. I appreciate you. Glitcho, thank you so much for the $2. Said, how are you, Polly? I'm doing good today. I'm having a good day. Actually got back in the gym today. I've been kind of struggling with gym last few weeks. So got back to the gym with me and sick and everything. So I'm really happy to be back. Really great. So thank you so much. Shush said, did you get the millennials? Is that a tattoo trend? I'm not up to date with my tattoo trends. I'm really not. So, is that I don't know. I don't know any of this stuff. And CJ, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. We got Sage, we got Cody, we got Magic, we got Wick, we got Dan. We got a whole bunch of people that just got memberships over there. Big W's in the chat for everybody who donated, especially over there with CJ with the 5 gifted memberships adding to the community. Tatted, I know that New York is a tattooing hub. A, I would need actually a recommendation from a good artist because I don't know anybody out there. 2, I'm there for a very limited amount of time and I have a lot of shit to do. Right? So it would have to just be something that like was planned out and like ready to go because I just have a lot. Thank you guys so much for the donations. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. We just had somebody trying to call in. I am going to try to get to them. I got to turn on my fan real quick because it's kind of hot. But yeah, thank you guys so much. If you guys would like to support live, I do a super chat, super stickers. I have all that fun stuff. I also have live gift goals over on TikTok. Lindsay, I think, was my first person to light up part of my gift gallery for the week. So big W's in the chat for Lindsay for lighting up the finger hearts. So if you guys like support, you go up, hit my name, you can hit the gift gallery, and you can help try to close out my gift gallery for me this weekend. I would really, really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. If you see something you're like, oh, maybe we can clear that out, we can do that nice and easy and early in the week. So if you guys like support that way, I really, 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 really appreciate you guys. So thank you guys so much. All right, I gotta turn on this fan. Hold on. Oh, fans on, headsets on. Muzz, thank you so much for the roses. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Fans on. Oh, this stuff is on. Now we'll open up the phone lines. We had somebody calling in, but if you still support Trump and you'd like to join the conversation, join the call, you can call in on the phone number that's above my head or next to my head, depending on which orientation you're looking at the live in. It's either up there or it's over there. There you go. It's around here someplace. So if you'd like to support the live, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. And if you guys would like to call in, I really appreciate you guys too. Thank you so much. And we'll try to have some conversations, some banter, some dialogue, dialogue. I don't know how to pronounce it. Words are hard. Words are hard. Hello, how are you? Hello. All right. Well, I don't know what the point of calling is if you're not going to say hello when I answer the phone. That doesn't seem to make much sense. You waste all that time calling in, dialing numbers to not say anything on their side. Very strange. But that's okay. Hey, y'all, over on the Portrait Live, if you guys could do me a favor, we're still trying to bust through a little bit of a shadow over there. So as you guys are coming in, if you guys could please hit that like button, if you guys could please send comments, do all of those things, participate in the live. It really does help to keep boosting it and to get it going while we're trying to bust out of this thing. We were able to bust through it yesterday. Yesterday morning, we were able to fight through it. We're struggling a little bit to fight through it right now. And that happens. It happens. We're not going to worry about it. We're just going to try to fight through it. All right. Thank you so much for the hat and mustache. I really appreciate that. We're just gonna try to fight through it. All right. These are things we can do. All right. These are things we can do. Hello.
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 Me there.
Hello. How are you? Hello?
Wait, are you doing a stream right now?
Yeah, are you, what is going on? Why can't I hear? Can you guys hear him? Because I can't hear him with the crap.
Oh, yeah, it's because this is a home phone.
Can you guys hear him? Yeah, dude, you sound like you are, in another room.
Yo, this is crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Don't hate.
I'm not hating. I can barely hear you. Do you have an ability to make it louder? If not, I have to move on.
No, I actually can't. So.
All right, man. Well, you have a good one. A home... Just because... What is a home phone have to do with it? Dude, I'm old enough to have grown up with landline phones. You can still hear someone on the other end of a landline phone. Unless we've somehow digressed in our ability to use landline phones. Sorry, that just threw me off for a second. That was like, I sometimes I mess up the sound because I'm messing with my sound settings and all sorts of stuff. And so sometimes I mess with my sound settings and they get messed up. And so I was like, oh, maybe that's what happened. All right. But anyways, I don't get it. He likely doesn't know how to turn the volume up on the landline. I didn't know you could turn up the mic volume on your landline. You can turn up your speaker volume. I mean, I still have a landline at work. I don't know. Anyways, if you support Trump, you guys can call in or join the guest request box. Again, we're just having a little bit of a harder time getting things started yesterday and today, but we're going to get there, I think. I hope. I hope I don't have to call off the live for tonight. I did get on a little late today, though. Not on purpose. Not on purpose. Your landline has an input volume slider? That's crazy. You got one of those rich people landlines. That's what that is. You got one of those rich people landlines. Next caller? There is no caller. The phone lines are open. Nobody's calling. All right? It's because we've defeated MAGA. All right? There are no more Trump supporters. They just don't exist anymore. All right? I would love to talk to them. They're getting tired of talking to me. All right? They got tired of talking to me. And I don't blame them. All right. Did you hear what Steve Witkoff said today? I was going to make a video about it. I probably still will. I'll probably make a video about it and put it out tomorrow. But did you hear what Steve Witkoff said on Fox News? Just out of curiosity. He literally said, okay, that freaking Iran is 1 week away from creating a nuclear weapon. I'll have to make that video later. So remember when they were like, "Oh yeah, we destroyed Iran's nuclear sites. They put them back 3 to 5 years," and every single person, like every single intelligence agency, was like, "No, you didn't." Yeah, now they're coming out saying they're a week away. Funny, huh? Hello, how are you? Funny, huh? They went from, in March, Tulsi Gabbard saying they were nowhere close to getting a nuclear weapon. Then Trump destroys it, says they're years away, and now like 7 months later, they're a week away again. That's pretty impressive.
Hello.
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 24.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Kinda, yeah, a little bit.
What do you mean, kinda? Yeah, a little bit.
So with everything going on recently, right, especially with the Epstein files and all that stuff, I'm not really too knowledgeable about it, so I can't really state, like, if I still support him with that, because I haven't done my research personally. But when I first, like, seen him, like, running for office with the immigration and stuff like that, I supported him a lot. But a lot of the issues with that, in my personal opinion, is they've been a little bit aggressive and they have killed people. So I'm slowly fading away out of MAGA and trying to go more.
Gotcha. Well, we can test this really quick. It's pretty simple. All right. You don't have to be super researched in it. All right. Do you support rich men trafficking children?
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Do you think if there are rich men that are trafficking children, they should be held accountable for their actions?
They should be in prison, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Then you don't agree with Donald Trump. Congratulations.
Okay.
That's
Awesome.
pretty simple. And honestly, let's be very clear that really after that, we really don't even have to have much of a conversation about anything. Because if you're supporting or
Okay.
defending or not putting people that traffic children into prison, doesn't really matter what the rest of your policies are, does it? Like,
No, that is true.
yeah, like, are you willing to have a trade off and be like, oh well, if your immigration
No,
policy is good enough,
100% no.
we're gonna allow you to freaking support
Hell no.
child, like, no. So like
That's
that's why I don't
crazy.
understand why people are like, oh, I'm like a little bit like, sir, you don't. Once there is a certain line that is crossed, there is no little bit, right? There's just
Yeah,
there's
100%.
either you support that or you don't support that, right? Like I like to use the example like all the time, right? Like, guess what? Unemployment super low under Hitler. Okay?
Yeah.
But we don't talk about that, right? Because Hitler did so much bad stuff. There was so much horrible stuff that went on that any tiny little good thing that you could possibly find out to like try to, it's not really worth talking about anymore, is it? You know?
Nope, not at all.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
so same thing, okay? After you're freaking, you're blocking legislation, not releasing the, unredacted files to put sex traffickers and shit, like other countries are doing, by the way. Like the UK is actually putting people like arresting people,
Yeah,
indicting
yeah.
people.
They like the president Andrew, or not the president,
Prince. Yeah.
the royal family member,
Yep. It's Prince.
Andrew got arrested, and that what really like deterred me from this presidency because, for one, if there's illegal stuff going on within government, and UK, one of the countries that doesn't really have the most protections for its civilians, and they allow that to happen, our country, and the UK is doing something about it. It just shows you like who's morally wrong and not really right. To me, that
Correct.
stuck out the most.
Correct. And especially when you have like the administration just continually lying about it, right? Like Kash Patel sat on his on his podcast for years talking about how he was going to get in and release them.
Yeah,
Goes
dude,
in,
like,
becomes the FBI director, and then it's like, nope, nothing to see here. And then we find out there's a shit ton to see here. They said there was no list. There was a list. Pam Bondi not investigating any
yeah,
of it, right?
yep,
So it's just such an obvious like cover up, right? It's such an obvious like attempt to try to skirt away from the truth. And I'm sure it's because they're trying to protect either Trump or friends of Trump, right? But this is why you don't put somebody again that's morally reprehensible as the president, because sooner or later you're going to need someone with morals, and you'd rather have
yeah,
someone with morals than not, right? Like, and I say this all the time, I'd much rather have someone with morals and bad policy than vice versa.
yeah. If I see someone I don't like, I wouldn't vote for him. But I only voted for Trump for like the immigration things. I agree with immigration a little bit, but
You
a lot
agree
of the
with
issues that are coming up
immigration a
now.
little bit? What do you mean by that?
So like illegal immigration, like I've seen some of the effects. Like when I went to go visit New York City, how there's like a lot of people, like foreigners, and they can be pretty aggressive and like hustle and scam. I've seen that firsthand. So I saw that, and that kind of took my view on it differently. But a lot of people who are where I start like leaning away from it, a lot of people who come here from Mexico, um, there should be like a better system on getting them vetted and being able to stay if they've been here for like an extensive time. Because a lot of those people have like families, jobs, homes, and they end up kicking them out, which is insane, dude.
Well, we
And these
weren't
people are
doing
selling
that. Well,
houses.
but like we weren't doing that, and then Donald, you voted for that though, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
Yeah, I
you
did.
voted for kicking those people out. Donald Trump trying to get rid of like people that are actually U.S. citizens that were born in this
It's like
country. He's trying to sue to
the
stop
way
like
he,
to in violation of the 14th Amendment, right? Like this is what you voted for.
the issue with it though is he said he was going to go after like criminals, like just bad people. He's going after everybody, which is insane. And
No,
I don't
we were
understand.
going after bad people before Donald Trump, but you were concerned with just people seeing people in New York, right? So we've always gone after bad people. We've always done that. Actually, if you want to look more traditionally, like back to Obama before Trump ever became president, we not
Yeah,
only
yeah,
went
Obama.
after, we actually went after criminals more effectively, right? Because we actually were able to work with local law enforcement and able to get actual criminal aliens out of here. But Donald Trump had Project 2025, which very, very much said that he was not going after criminal aliens, that he was going after everyone. He put in Stephen Miller and had Stephen Miller by his side, who's trying to do like 3,000 deportations a day. You can't do that going after criminals. His plan was never to go after criminals. ever. It was never part of his agenda. It was never part of his plan. Okay. He'd say that on stage, but he lies as easy as he freaking breathes.
That's insane, dude.
Well, I mean, they did checks on his first presidency, right? He told over 30,000 confirmed lies or misleading statements in his first term alone.
What the hell?
30,000. I think that calculates to like almost 20 a day.
That's crazy, dude.
It's an amazing number of, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna beat that on this one. Like, he saw that number and he's like, we got to jump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right. But when we see this, right, and you go, like, we see that he did that in his first term, and then he runs for a second term, and then people vote him in for doing stuff. It's like, why would you believe he's going to do anything? Why would you believe what he's going to say if he just lies that easily?
I wasn't really into politics on his first term, but his second term, that's when I started getting like more political. But because I usually never voted, I usually never vote. Because I was, even then when Trump first became president, I didn't really look into like politics at all. From before I went from New York to where I'm at now, I'm small town. I don't really know a lot of people. I really never cared about it, but seeing it now, dude, the way our country's going overall, like, I don't think it's good, dude. I really don't. And that's just like, for me, seeing everything, like even talking to people, cause I know someone who got deported, and they had a good job, they worked hard, and they weren't a criminal. So morally, how can we as a country say we can kick those people out? But we have people in our own country, our own citizens, who are doing a lot worse, that are in higher positions in government, and now they're not getting anything handed to them. But then you go over to the UK, and those people are actually getting arrested. Like, how's that happening in our country, dude? It's so mind-boggling.
It's easy. You literally voted for someone who defrauded a children's cancer charity out of $400 million, who is literally adjudicated of sexual assault against a woman and has over 30 other accusations, who's a literal felon and would be more of a felon if we didn't become president, right? Like when you vote in someone shitty, you get shitty. I don't
it's true. You drink your own poison, you know?
Yeah, like people are like, oh my God, I can't believe that I can believe it. You know why I can believe it, sir? Because everything that I said was going to happen before he became president is all happening. The sad part is, I didn't even think it was going to be this bad. I thought it was going to be bad, and it got even worse than that. Right?
Yeah, it is pretty bad now.
So I'm just saying, dude, you like it is important. And you say you're like not into politics. And I think that that's an important thing to talk about too, right? Because it's not a matter of being into politics. Everybody's into politics. It's just whether you like it or not. If you like having a job, you're into politics. If you like clean drinking water and eating not poison, you're into politics, right? If you like labor laws, or you like roads, or all of those things are politics. Everything is politics, sir. It's all politics. Whether you want to address it as that or not, it's all politics, right?
I guess you're right. That is true, because everything you do in your daily life is affected by a person who makes the decisions.
Yep.
So
you have the choice to either pay attention to that, or you have the choice to ignore it and say, I'm not into politics. But one way or another, you're going to be affected by it.
What would you recommend for like better fact checking and better, basically over like to give me like the right information? Because it seems like media is like so misconstrued. I don't even know.
Well, I'd start by saying hit the follow or subscribe button if you're already here, because obviously. But
I got you on that one. I got you. You're very nice.
But after that, I do always like suggest things like Ground News. I think it's really great because they gather a whole bunch of different sources from both the left, the right, and the center, and they'll tell you who's reporting on things. And if you want a good link to subscription for Ground News, you can go to my link tree and you can actually get a discount on like a yearly subscription to Ground News. It's a little plug there. Sorry.
Okay.
But so if you like that, but Ground News I think is a good one, even if you get them outside of my subscription link. You know what I'm saying? I still recommend them. I think that they're really awesome, because you can go like, hey, the right is reporting more on this, or the left is reporting more on this, or this isn't being reported or whatever. And you can see like all sides of it, and you'll see certain things that are just over-reported by one side. And I think it's very helpful to kind of, get an idea of, where you're, like who's reporting on what and be able to get a full spectrum of news on it, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So
Another thing that I really don't agree with Trump on is the Gaza situation, dude. Like, bro, like Israel's been like attacking them for a long time because their main reasoning for attacking them, or for what they say, is um, or the Gaza Strip has like terrorists, is what they say. So they've been bombing them even before they got the attacks happening to them.
yeah.
So there's been conflict since before then. So even like we shouldn't even like be supporting them in any capacity. Why are we sending these people billions of dollars to? It's so stupid. It's
Well, we're sending them
so
billions of
stupid.
dollars to make sure that they can have universal health care while we don't.
That's what is so crazy. Like I don't even see like why they'd be a strategic like point for us. They're not. All they do is take our money and threaten us when we don't do what they like, which is so stupid.
Yeah, pretty much, man. But all right, dude. Well, I'm gonna get offline. I'm gonna go go move on to the next caller. But I hope you have a good one. All right.
You too, man. It was good talking to you.
Yep. All
I'll
right.
make sure to hit your link.
Thanks a lot, man.
Yep.
Later. Bye. All right, Joe. Well, if you make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We're gonna attempt to move on to the next caller and see what we got going on over here. Oh, that was quick. Hello, how are you?
What up?
Hi, how old are you?
18.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Hell no.
All right, man. Well, I'm gonna move on to the next caller. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right, we're gonna see if there's any more Trump supporters coming up to hang out today. But I don't know. Sorry, I have to send a message over. Oh, do we have someone over in the TikTok sign? Sorry. Maybe there was someone over there. Someone said put me in, and then they're not here. That's weird. Anyways, thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys. Shush, thank you so much for the $1. I really appreciate that. That is very nice of you. Thank you so much. Definitely not. Thank you so much for the bronze medal. I appreciate that. Hello.
What's up, bud? How's everything?
It's great. So how old are you?
42.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
In some aspects, yes, I do.
In some aspects. What does that mean?
So maybe not towards his immigration policy and how he's handled that. I totally disagree with that. I grew up in a border town. I live in a border town. I'm predominantly the minority in a Spanish-speaking town. I never saw anything that would cause what Trump is doing, and I don't agree with it at all. But as far as economic policy, I kind of agree with what he's trying to do, sir.
And what is he trying to do?
Well, he's trying to bring more manufacturing and jobs, and then you can debate it or not, but you gotta believe that the tariffs are a good thing, or at least in my opinion, they do. At least in my opinion, and I know you're on the laptop and you able to search this, but
I'm not searching anything, sir. I'm literally talking in my Discord.
got you. But just overall, we've always voted for these politicians that are either like lawyers or career politicians. And when Trump came into office in 2016, you figured it was something different because he wasn't a career politician, nor wasn't he, and he wasn't a lawyer. He had a business savvy mind that came with them.
He
And,
literally bankrupted like 7 businesses and was like
yeah,
almost fucking
people
broke.
fell. Yeah, people
He was
fell,
almost
people
fucking
go to
broke.
break.
He literally got sued and his lawyers argued in court they didn't even have the money to pay it or the
And
capital.
that's happened with multiple people.
No, not successful people. No, successful people don't get given a whole bunch of money, like inherit a whole bunch of money, and then be worth less than that amount of money if you account for inflation.
Well, here's the thing. What do you think He's an authoritarian.
He think he wants
President
to be an
Nixon.
authoritarian, but regardless of any of that, sir, if I give you a bunch of money and then you end up with less, you go to business and you end up with less money than you started, how does that make you a good businessman?
Well, businesses businesses fail all the time. Startups, what they have like a 60%, 70% failure rate. So it's part of the game. I mean, if you want to change the
So,
system,
sir, I don't disagree with what you're saying. I'm asking you a simple question, sir. Okay. Sir, I'll give you an example. Okay. If I right now, if I'm investing in you, right? Right. And I give you $100,000 tomorrow and you're like, I'm good at business. I'm going to do business with this $100,000. Right. And you start 4 businesses and they all fail with that $100,000. And at the end of it, you hand me back $50. Does that mean you were a good businessman or a bad businessman?
that just makes the system, and the system was established before him,
Okay, how about this? Let me
needs
make
to
this
be
easier.
changed.
Can you please give me one successful business that Trump has freaking actually done? Like one?
Well, I mean, he had his casinos, he has his real estate, and yes, the casino failed, but casinos come and go just like businesses. Uh, but the real estate that he's in, it's been successful,
You
hasn't it?
do realize that like 90%, over 90% of the freaking buildings that Donald Trump has his name on don't belong to him, right? They belong to other people and he just licenses his name to them.
Doesn't that make him a good businessman if they're willing to pay him for his name
Yeah,
to
it
be
just
on those
makes his
businesses?
name popular because people like you say he's a good businessman. So literally Donald Trump's biggest thing is business is convincing you that he's good at business and then not being good at business.
So then, what's good business to you?
Making
What's
money. That's the literal entire point of being in business is literally making money. You are supposed to make what's the other point of business? Is there another point of business I'm not aware of?
Yeah, to be innovative, to create jobs, to uh
You can't be innovative without money and you can't create jobs without money.
well, you could be innovative without money. Yes, you
You
can.
cannot run a business that is innovative without making money. You have to be profitable to be able to take that money and then put it into innovation. And you also just said that Donald Trump was in casinos and real estate, and that's 2 places where innovation doesn't really exist, sir. Property is property. You can't innovate into property, right? You can only just buy it, sell it, invest in it. That's about all you can do. Casinos, literally, people walk in and hand you money. That's pretty much as far as that goes.
Okay, but I mean, hasn't his real estate portfolio gone up?
Since he became president, yeah. Before that,
Well,
no.
that
Donald Trump has like
no,
quadrupled his net worth since becoming president.
and hasn't haven't other politicians quadrupled their
Yeah,
net worth
sir.
since they're in
But that
office?
doesn't mean that they're good business people, and it also doesn't mean that they're good people.
Agreed. I agree with you.
Yeah, not every politician is a good person, and they sure as hell doesn't mean that they're good business people. Okay, so if they're doing it, that's bad. But if Trump is doing it, that's also bad, and it also doesn't make him a good business person. Okay, but even more importantly than that, sir, is that the United States is not a business. Okay, so there's no point. That doesn't matter. The point of the United
It,
States is not to make money, and that is the point of a business.
well, the United States is a capitalist free market, or supposedly it's supposed to be.
Right, but the United States government job is not to make money.
Well, that's how they should look at it instead of running deficits.
No,
Maybe
that's
they
just
should
meaning
run.
having a balanced budget. Okay, that's not to make money. Okay, we should have a balanced budget. We should be paying down our deficit. None of that is making money. Not to
What
mention the
about
fact you do realize
the
Donald Trump's
United States
added $12 trillion plus to the national debt since he's been in, right?
and and prior to that, the previous administration and the previous administration after that, they've doubled
I'm
the
not
deficit.
arguing that the previous administration were good at business. You are. You're argue, sir. It doesn't, sir. You're the one saying that Donald Trump is good at business. If the point of business is to make money, and you're saying Donald Trump deserves to be president in order because he's good at making money, then wouldn't you see the U.S. government making money, not losing it at an exponential rate? He's added a third of the national debt our country has ever had. He's added.
But when it comes to like his economic policies, we're trying to onshore uh jobs back where we become more dependent inside the United States instead of dependent on other countries like China or maybe Mexico. He's focused on trying to do that.
He is not focused on that. We lost over 1 million jobs last year, including hundreds of thousands of manufacturing jobs.
That's because we're not competitive. We need to be more.
No, sir. We were gaining jobs at a record rate in 2024, like literally a record rate under the Biden administration.
You can't say that. We had COVID. COVID. Everybody stayed home at COVID, and then once COVID was released, once COVID was over, then those people that lost their job during COVID came back.
How many jobs were lost due to COVID?
Job workforce.
How many jobs were lost due to COVID?
Like 6 million plus, maybe
7
more.
7 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many jobs were created under the Biden administration?
That's COVID ended under the Biden administration.
How many jobs were created under the Biden administration?
Jobs that once previously were.
Sir, just give me a number, sir.
COVID.
I don't need all the
I wouldn't know.
Okay, perfect. The number is 16 million. Okay. So if you subtract the 7 million that were lost for COVID, that would still mean that there was 9 million created under Biden administration, even if you take out the COVID jobs.
But those numbers are fab too, because they had to readjust those jobs in the jobs
That's
report.
the adjusted number. And you know that they do that with everybody's job numbers, right?
Of course, because they try to make things look better than
No, because do you know how job numbers are created? Do you know how those job numbers are even made into a data set?
No, I do not.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So that's an important thing to understand why they adjust them, because if you don't know how it happens, then it doesn't make sense that you adjust them. They send out surveys to businesses across the United States, okay, and say, are you hiring? Are you firing? Are you doing this? And there's a huge questionnaire, and it talks about how businesses in the United States are doing jobs, right? Are they building? Are they expanding? Are they subtracting? They're doing all those things. Well, sometimes it takes those surveys a while to come back. So the first month they might get the surveys and they make an estimate based off of those amount of surveys that they got in, and they extrapolate the data from that, and then they post those numbers. And then the next month they come in, they go, okay, the numbers that we extrapolated, they weren't quite right. We need to adjust those numbers. And then they put out the new numbers. And then the next month they do the same thing. It usually takes 3 to 4 months for us to find out the actual complete job numbers for a certain month. And those numbers are being adjusted every single month. They're being adjusted under the Trump administration. They're being adjusted under the Biden administration. They've been adjusted under the Obama administration. They're constantly being adjusted. Those numbers being adjusted is BLS trying to be as accurate as possible. It's not anybody trying to freaking change numbers. Which, by the way, that 16 million number I gave you, that's after it was adjusted backwards. Yeah, it would have been over 17 million had they not adjusted it.
And just out of curiosity, what percentage of that was government jobs that were created?
I think whatever the normal percentage is, I think it was around 10% probably. If I remember correctly.
Okay.
Yeah. The private sector went like launched, dude. It went crazy. We were getting job number after good job report after good job report after good job report. And then Trump administration came in and we got literally the worst job reports. Literally June of this year was the first time in a month that we lost jobs. We had negative job creation, all right, since we shut down for COVID. That's what Donald Trump's economic policies are doing. They're sending us the opposite direction. We have the worst unemployment rate right now that we've had in 4 years.
And those jobs being created under like the Biden administration or how you said, I forgot where I was going with that. It's good to have these conversations, bro. I appreciate your feedback, and we need to have more conversations like this instead of the bickering and arguing. that we've been doing
Yeah,
with
but
each other.
we're having it right now, sir. But I just don't
Yeah,
understand. You're telling me that Donald Trump is somehow good at business, so therefore that's why he's president. But what
you
his numbers are showing right now show the exact opposite. It shows right now
you
that
gotta
Donald Trump
let
is
that play out, and it
let
just
it play
can't
out for
happen
what?
in a
The
year.
Supreme
It
Court,
has to happen.
Donald Trump's entire economic Donald
You
Trump's
cannot build fact. You cannot build a silicon factory in a year. It takes years. You cannot
nobody's
build
building.
factories.
Nobody's trying to build factories, sir. Nobody's announcing that they're building factories.
There's what? There's foreign car companies that are trying to build car.
Who?
Toyota.
Toyota just said that they just announced that factory in 2024.
Toyota. There's millions of companies that are gonna.
They're not.
There's millions of. Yes, they are.
No, they're
I
not.
believe that.
Donald Trump's Supreme Court, the Supreme Court just said that Donald Trump can't even enforce his tariff, most of his tariffs that he had under IEPA anyway. All of his tariffs, or the majority of his tariffs, are all gone. He doesn't even have that ability anymore.
Then how do you feel if we cannot implement tariffs, and because the Supreme Court says it's unconstitutional, then what about an income tax? Isn't that income tax unconstitutional? It's
No.
a tax.
Sir, it
No.
doesn't say that nobody can implement tariffs. It even gives situations in which United States, where the president can put in tariffs. What Donald Trump was doing was using IEPA to put in tariffs. That is illegal because the right to tax comes to the legislature. Congress has the right to tax, not the president. Donald Trump's just trying to do everything on his own because he thinks he's an authoritarian.
I don't believe he's an authoritarian.
He does.
I saw what authoritarian was during COVID. I saw red states who wanted to open, and I saw blue states that kept closed, small businesses closed.
That's not authoritarian, sir.
That's authoritarian for me. I saw people open up Disney World while they kept Disneyland closed. I saw like I said, small businesses.
How is that
shutting,
authoritarian, sir?
because you're not allowing people to work and earn a living. You're keeping them home, and you're not allowing them
That's
to
not
earn a living.
authoritarian, sir.
That's authoritarian to me.
I don't think you know what authoritarian is then.
That's authoritarian to me.
Well, sir, it can be authoritarian to you, but that doesn't make it authoritarian. Like, I could just say it was democracy to me. Okay, well, to me, it was democracy. So it's therefore democracy. That's not how it works, sir. Okay. What should have happened was the president of the United States at the time should have made a decision on what the United States was going to do. Instead, the president of the United States bitched out, gave no leadership, and allowed states to do what they were going to do. Because let's be very clear: when Disneyland shut down and Disney World didn't, Donald Trump was president. Donald Trump was the president. So therefore, if anybody was authoritarian in that case, it would have been Donald Trump.
And didn't he want to open in February, in April when COVID hit
he
March?
wanted to open?
He wanted to open.
He never made the decision to close. States had to do that on their own because of the lack of Donald Trump's leadership.
Because they were against them, because they didn't want to work with them.
They were, sir, if Donald Trump had came out and said, we're shutting down the whole fucking country, we would have shut down the whole fucking country. If Donald Trump had came out and said, we're keeping the whole country open, we would have kept the whole country open. Donald Trump did nothing. He left it to the states.
No, because he literally came out and said, we need to open the country back up. But there was red states that opened back up, and there was blue states that wanted to defy him.
How can he open the country back up when he didn't shut it down?
Then we did shut it down.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did. We shut down the country. We told small businesses they couldn't.
You just said we didn't. You just said red states didn't and blue states did. You just said that. If some states did it and other states didn't, then guess what? The country wasn't shut down.
Because those that closed their state or stopped doing business were mostly blue states because
Then
they
we
did it.
didn't shut the country down, sir. Sir. I need
We
you to
shut
listen.
down. Did we shut
We
down states
did
then?
not shut down the country, sir. If some states were open and some states were not, then we did not shut the country down. That's how that works, okay? If it's the United States of America, that is the country. It's the United States of America. So in order to shut the country down, that means all the states would have to shut down. If we kept it open, then all the states would have to do that, okay? So if Donald Trump said we are shutting down the country, then the whole country would have shut down. If Donald Trump had said the whole country is staying open, then the whole country would have stayed open. Donald Trump did none of those things. So he can't call for the opening of the country that he did not shut down. He left it to the states to do what they want to do. He can't then try to take over and go, oh, well, I told you guys to just do whatever. Right? I told you guys to do whatever, but now I'm getting hurt economically, so now I want to open it back up. That's not how it works. Okay? If he had leadership from the get-go, then we would have had leadership all the way through it. But we didn't, because Donald Trump's not a good leader.
We did shut down that country. We did shut
Oh my
down the
fucking God.
country. We did.
Sir,
In the
I live
beginning
in
of
Florida.
COVID,
We did not shut down the country. Okay?
when COVID first hit, did they not close in schools? Did they not close in
Who
small
closed the
businesses?
schools?
States.
The states did. There you go.
Did we not close the?
No. We didn't. The states did what they wanted to do.
But didn't Florida during COVID close in, stop temporarily?
Sir, lots of states did all sorts of different things. Okay. Lots of states did all sorts of different things. Okay. I don't know how to explain this to you any easier where it makes more sense, sir. If some states did some things and some states did other things, then the federal government didn't do it. And the federal government doesn't get to decide not to do anything and then decide to do something afterwards. That's not how it works. He can't open up a state open up places that he didn't close.
Okay.
It's
enough.
just that simple. So that is not authoritarian, okay? Because if it was authoritarian, it would be one person making the decisions that were just completely like unilateral. And nowhere did we have that. If individual states are making decisions, it's automatically not authoritarian.
Does it make it authoritarian for those states that did close in and
Nope.
refuse to open?
Nope. They were doing exactly as they were instructed.
Instructed by who?
By the president to make their own decisions.
Okay. Fair enough. But, I don't really have anything else. If there's something else you want to talk about.
No, I'm good, man. You have a good one, all right?
All right. Appreciate you.
Bye. All right, we're going to keep this thing going, see if we can get some more callers in here, I guess. Can you all do me a favor and double tap that screen? Let's get this thing up to 150,000 likes. I really appreciate that. Like I said before, if you guys are over on the TikTok side, please make sure you guys go up, hit that gift gallery. Try to help me clear a gift gallery over here. We're starting out the week right. Somebody's in like 3 of the 6 mustaches. I think we're getting real close over there. So if you'd like to hit my name, hit the gift gallery, help out over there. If you guys are over on the YouTube side, if you guys would like to support the live, we do a super chat, super stickers, all that fun stuff. If you guys send super chats or anything like that, I like to read them in between the live and have conversations. But we didn't get anyone during that one, so that's fine. Maybe after the next caller, we'll get some super chats in there and we'll have something to talk about in between callers. I do gotta take off my hoodie though. Hold on. It got hot. All right, we're gonna keep this thing going, try to keep this thing moving. Let's see if we got anybody on the phone lines. We'll see. We got some people in the guest request box. We'll see if we got anybody on the phone lines real quick. And then we'll move on. Oh, that was quick. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how old are you?
18.
What year were you born?
07.
All right. Well, I think that would make you, I guess you could have been, huh? Nope, that's not right. I don't quick math. You're doing a good job. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Hi, how old are you?
23.
Awesome. You still support Trump?
Yeah, but I'm more of an independent, I'd say. I'm not too crazy in the politics either, though. But I do support for Trump. Not with all things he does, but I mostly do.
Thank you guys for that. Massages.
What?
You support most of the things he does, like, hiding the Epstein files and bankrupting children's cancer charities and stuff like that? Just the fun stuff?
So all that stuff right there, I'm not too much in the news, so I don't know what's going on lately right now. I work a lot.
That wasn't lately. That was a
I
long
drive
time ago,
trucks.
sir.
But what?
That was a long time ago. That was not lately.
Like a couple months ago?
Like 8 years ago?
No, I'm talking about like recently when he's in office.
Yeah. I'm just saying well before
Okay,
he
well-
became president. Things you could have known.
Well, I was listening to your podcast or what this is. I'm enjoying it, but I have a question for you that I'm really interested in.
Okay.
You ready? So, what do you think about what Trump's doing to the migrant truck drivers?
What Trump's doing to the migrant truck drivers.
Yep,
Fucking
foreign
them
truck
over
drivers.
just like everybody else.
Yeah, I could see how you see that, and
Why don't we talk about what he's doing
I'm
to
talking-
the entire trucking industry, where the trucking industry literally lost billions last year?
yeah, but you don't see how I see it. So I have my CDL as well, and I've been driving for the last 3 years. Pretty good job. I go all over the place. But what I'm here to talk about is that when I travel, I notice a lot of truck drivers, they don't speak English at all. And I also
Oh.
work at a warehouse too. They don't understand English. I have to get my phone out, translate. I
Oh,
think
no.
they should probably know how to read signs and
You know
how to
what's the
speak
cool thing
English
about road
to drive
signs?
in the United States.
You know what the cool thing about road signs are?
Yeah, what
Yeah,
about
they're
it?
all shaped different, so you don't have to read them.
They're all elaborate on that. I don't
Yeah, like a
understand.
stop sign is a different shape and color than a yield sign. Like you have red lights,
Well-
yellow lights, and green lights. Like you can, like, right turn arrows have an arrow pointing that way. Like
Well,
you
that's
don't
the-
you
that's
don't
the
need
simple-
to
that's the
speak
simple
English
things. I'm
to
talking
know any of
more
those things.
I'm talking more towards about where they need to go, which I understand they have a GPS and an iPad that tells them where to go and what
Yeah.
to do. And like when I was talking to some of them, like I loaded a truck last week. Guy was from Russia. He was a pretty cool guy. He didn't speak English too well, but I was talking to him and I was like, this guy's actually pretty cool to talk to. He's a nice guy. I helped him load the truck. He got off his way. Next guy came in, decent guy as well. Next guy, this guy's from. He didn't tell me where he was from. He didn't speak English. He spoke Chinese, I'd say.
Sir, why do
Did
I
not
care
know
about
what he
why
was
do
doing.
I care about any of this? There's lots of American
So what
truck
I'm
drivers that
saying-
don't know what the fuck they're doing either.
It's insane.
Am I wrong?
Sorry. Say that again.
There's a lot of American truck drivers that don't know what the fuck they're doing either.
Oh, I do agree. I'm not saying that all
So
American
maybe we
truck
should just
drivers
be
are
against bad
10 out of
truck
10
drivers and not
amazing.
be concerned about what country they came from.
What? I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about them not being able to operate equipment properly. Because I was out there. He could not even unhook the lowboy. I was trying to help him unhook it. He threw a fit. He was trying to
Sir,
truck.
can I ask you a question? How many countries have you been to, like, in your life, besides the U.S.?
So I'm at border with Canada. I go to Canada once a month.
Okay.
So Canada, I've been to the Bahamas, and that's about it.
Okay,
I don't really want to.
I'm gonna give you something. It's gonna be a very, very valuable piece of information for you. Okay. All right. There's truck drivers in every fucking country. Well, I can't say every. The overwhelming majority of almost every single country, there's truck drivers, and there's good truck drivers, and there's bad truck drivers, including ours, right? And
Yep.
you can drive in all sorts of countries, right? Like I lived in Europe for quite a while. I drove in that country. I do not speak very good Italian. Okay.
How was Europe? How do you like Europe?
Great.
I'm just
But see,
curious.
in that
I
country,
wanted to go over there.
yeah, it's
I
great.
got
But
family
see,
over
and
there
since
still.
there's like an actual open border in the Shenzhen region over in Europe, you can have an Italian truck driver and he'll drive all the way through Germany, even though he doesn't speak German, and he'll drive through, the Netherlands, even though he doesn't speak, Dutch, or, or he'll go to Portugal, and even though
Well,
he doesn't speak Portuguese, they'll
can I
literally drive to all of those
yell at
countries, and it's
finish?
totally okay. They don't need to speak the language. You need to know the rules of the road, okay, and what the signs mean, and then you need to have a GPS in that type of in your language, and you're fine.
Hey, so can I stop you for a second? So you were talking about Europe. Europe's a union. They're all put together. You can speak different languages there. They all work together. I'm talking about sending someone from India across the world to the United States where they never been
Insane.
before or traveled to.
Then how'd they
That's what
get a
I'm talking
CDL?
about. What?
Then how'd they get a CDL?
That's the question.
It's
There's
not,
tons
sir.
of stuff.
Because in India they teach people English. Like in Europe, they teach people English.
Well, I understand that. You can learn English anywhere.
Yeah, you can learn any language in the United States too. We just choose
You
not
can learn
to.
online.
Yeah.
Which I'm curious, how many languages you speak?
Oh, one poorly.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I speak one language and I do it poorly. Yeah. But that doesn't change the fact, sir. I don't want anybody that is going to be unsafe on the road having a CDL, and I mean that. Okay, for people
I totally
for
agree
United
with you
States,
on
for
that.
United States citizens, for immigrants, for everyone. But targeting immigrants who came here, probably speak our language pretty well, and even if they don't, who cares? Who are able to pass a CDL license, who are able to help move goods in the United States, that keeps America running, right? Because truck drivers do keep the United States running, right?
Oh, I
And
totally agree with you on that.
and when we actually have an economy that's running at full speed, we need lots of truck drivers to keep all those goods coming in and out constantly, right? And so if we have more people that are trying to come over to try to do that, yeah, W's in the chat for truck drivers. If we have people that are trying to come from other countries to come do that, then more respect to them. As long as they're here and they have their CDL and they have their licenses and all that sort of stuff, then good on them.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Then what's the problem, man?
My problem is, if they can't speak English, they shouldn't be driving on the roads. They should take. I totally agree. I don't, like I said, I don't.
You
totally agree with
don't
Trump, but
need to speak
this-
English to drive. I lived in Italy for 2.5 years. I don't know Italian. I was able to drive just fine. Didn't get an accent or a ticket or nothing. Over there, they don't even use miles. You know that? They use kilometers. I was able to figure it the fuck out, bro.
I'm talking about I have a commercial driver's license, though. Not
What I'm saying is if I can get a
not
regular
no, I
driver's
paid
license, then what's
$5,000.
stopping them?
I paid $5,000 for my CDL.
They
And
probably
it
did
took me
too.
2 months out of my life to get that CDL.
I'm sure they did the same
It's a
thing.
really hard course to take.
They did the same. What makes you think they didn't do the exact same thing?
There's multiple types of CDL classes. When I did it, they changed the rules, and I failed my test the first time, so I had to get sent to the special class that took forever and $5,000. But they changed the rule around. The last day was the deadline when I took the test. Didn't pass it. That was the deadline. Then I had to take this crazy long test.
Hold on. So just to be
But
clear,
it depends on
you
state,
failed the
though.
test and had to go to the special kid class for CDL, and the migrants came in and passed the test, and I'm supposed to be worried about them and not you?
You're not understanding. It's not a special kid class. They changed the law within the next day. That was the deadline. I didn't make the deadline.
Sir, you are scaring me a lot more than any migrant driving a truck right now.
So you're going to target me to change? Wow. So, you ever dealt with migrant truck drivers or the trucking industry or anything?
My dad was a lifelong trucker. Yeah, he drove trucks from the time he didn't graduate high school, but well before I was born.
You don't have to graduate
But-
high school to drive
Yeah,
truck.
well before then, till
I know a lot of my buddies didn't
till he
graduate.
retired at the age of 67 or whatever. He drove trucks my entire life that I knew. Yeah,
He had a pretty good life.
we lived okay. We lived fine. We didn't
I know a
starve.
couple
We had
truck
food on the
drivers.
table.
When I used to drill wells, I met one from Canada. Good guy. He had his wife over the United States. They lived in a really nice house. He built a huge pole barn for his truck. in his trailer. Nice guy, but truck drivers make pretty good money.
We did not live anything special, but we had food on the table and we had a roof over our head, so we can't complain. We survived. But, what else are you going to do?
Yep.
But anywho's, man. All right, well, I'm going to let you get to it. I'm going to move on to the next caller, but I hope you have a good one, all right?
Yep, you too.
All right, be safe out there. Trucking is not easy. Y'all, thank you guys so much for being here. Please make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really, really appreciate you guys. Wonder if you guys like support. I do have super chats, super stickers. I have pay links in the bio. They're all at Polypolitics, just like my name. And I have the little DJ glasses too. I'm trying to clear that off today's too. So I really appreciate you guys. Wonder Twin said his voters never seem to follow that much about their candidate. Just admit y'all didn't want to vote for a black woman. We used to get the ones that were like super diehard Trump supporters, and now we're getting a lot more of the like, I wasn't really paying attention to politics people, which that's good. It means the diehards are dying out, or they're changing over to the I wasn't paying attention people, and those people are a lot easier to move over on our side. So, yeah. So we got that, but yeah, it's probably the black woman thing. Francesca, thank you so much for the $5. Said, I'm charging Polly for the lobotomy I experienced from the last callers. Where do I send the bill? You can send that to George Soros' house. He pays all of my lawsuits. So just send that over to Soros' house. Big Daddy Soros will take care of that. Thank you so much, Francesca. Carolyn says, you say Epstein caller goes to truck drivers that don't. You say Epstein callers goes to truck drivers that don't speak English. Wait, hold on. What? Am I misreading this? You say Epstein caller goes to truck drivers that. Carolyn, you lost me. I think the autocorrect might have gotcha. I think the autocorrect might have gotcha because I don't understand what you're trying to tell me. I'm so sorry. I love you, Carolyn. I hope you're having a great one. You lost me, though. Sorry, you totally lost me. I really appreciate it, though. And MAGA will fall. Yes, absolutely. Well, MAGA is falling. I appreciate. Should I say Epstein caller? Oh, he started as the Epstein caller. That's what it was. It was a pivot. He started as the Epstein caller. Then he went to truck drivers don't speak English. Got it. Sorry. I'm back on track. That was me. That was on me. I caught up. I'm slow sometimes, okay? I'm not too bright, all right? I'm just trying to survive over here. Thank you so much, Carolyn. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And thank you for everybody who supported, all right? Hey, I no one said I was a smart man over here. All right? I'm just doing my best. All right? I'm just hanging on for dear life. I'm doing the best I can, okay? I'm doing the best I can. I'm hanging on for dear life over here. All right, y'all. Phone lines are back open. If you still support Trump and you'd like to call in and have a conversation, I really appreciate you guys. Tell me on why you still do it. And we'll try to keep this thing going. Hopefully we can. I still got like an hour and a half to kill on here if we're freaking as long as we get callers. So we'll see what's going on. Freddie, again, that's only a TikTok thing. You guys just have super chats and super stickers. They have the funny things like DJ glasses and stuff. Okay? That's over there. You don't get those fun things over here. Hello.
How are you?
I'm great. How old are you?
34.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yes, sir.
Why is that?
He's doing what I voted for him to do.
Hiding the Epstein files? Are you in them?
Are you in them?
No, but I didn't vote for him to do what I wanted him to do.
I didn't vote for him to release the Epstein files.
Yeah, you voted for him to hide them. So
no, I didn't. I don't care about the Epstein files. Are you pro-life or pro-choice, sir?
Am I pro-life or pro-choice?
Yeah.
I'm pro both.
You're pro-choice, right?
I'm pro both.
You can't be pro both.
Yes, you can.
How?
Well, I like people to be living, right? I like as many people to be living that can stay living as much as possible. And then I also believe that women have a right to choose on their own bodies. So
So you don't care about kids.
Oh, I love kids. Not the way Republicans love kids, but I love kids, like just in general.
Yeah, you love kids and then putting them in the trash can.
Putting them in the trash can. I used to do that to my daughter when she was little. I used to take her and I used to put her in the trash can and go, "Oh, I'm gonna throw you away." And then I would like lift her up out of there and she'd go, "Ah," and she'd laugh. And it's like, yeah. So
It's funny when they're still alive, right?
it is funny. Yeah. Again, I said I was.
It's funny when they're still alive.
I very much said that I appreciate people being alive. Yeah.
Yeah, but you also appreciate people unaliving their kids.
No, I don't want anybody aliving their children. That would be horrible.
So then you're not pro-choice.
No, I am pro-choice.
Well, then you support the unaliving of innocent children.
No, I don't.
So you shouldn't bring up the
That would be
Epstein
horrible.
files.
Sir,
Point.
Sir, what's the definition of a child?
I don't know. Small human, small person. I don't know.
Yeah, it is a young human who is recently born. Yeah. So in order to be a child, you have to be born, sir. So in order to be a child,
so what is
you
a
have
fetus?
So in order to be a child, it's exactly that, sir. A fetus is a fetus. So when you're asking me about children being alive, I 100% support children being alive. Children are already born. Okay, that would be horrible. That would be murder. I would hate that. Right? But
do you know what a fetus is?
Are completely different from children. That's why they have a different
name.
Do you know
the definition of a fetus?
What is it, sir?
It's an unborn child.
It's an unborn child? That's the definition?
Yeah.
According to which dictionary, sir?
I don't know. Look it up on your fancy computer.
Okay, so you don't know that that's the definition? You made it up?
Maybe.
An offspring of a human, offspring of a human or other mammal in the stages of prenatal development that follows the embryonic stage. So no, not that.
So it's not a human?
I did say it was a human, but you said it was an unborn child, and child is nowhere in there because child requires you to be born.
So you're not a child until you're born?
Human. Correct.
Interesting.
You're a fetus prior to that.
Okay, well, let me tell you why I voted for Trump. And it wasn't for the Epstein files.
Obviously.
It was for tariffs. It was for men out of women's sports. It was for lower numbers at the border. It was for lower gas prices.
All right. Well, which one do you want to start with, sweetheart?
Choose baby cakes.
All right, cool. So you must be having a great week with the Supreme Court saying that Donald Trump can't enact tariffs under IEPA, huh?
Well, I feel confident that Trump will find a way around it.
Find a way around the law? Well, I guess he is pretty good at that. Why would you want him to find a way around the law?
I'm pretty sure one of the justices said that there's other ways that you can impose tariffs without IEPA.
There's tons of ways you can impose tariffs without IEPA.
Well, that's how he's going to do it.
Yeah, but he can't do tariffs the way he was doing them before. You know the difference, right?
Well, he's a dictator. Why can't he?
Why is he?
Why does he have to listen to the courts since he's such a dictator?
Because he's a very bad dictator.
Exactly. So he's not a dictator.
He's not very good at it. That's why.
So he's not a dictator.
Oh no, he's a wannabe dictator. Yeah, he's a He wants to be a dictator. He just even fails at that. Yeah, just like most of his businesses.
Then can you explain to me how he became a billionaire?
He was given a whole bunch of money by his daddy.
How much?
Oh, I don't know. Shit ton. I don't even remember. 400
million?
Yeah, I think something like that.
Yeah. So again, how did he become a billionaire?
Inflation. You know how much $400 million in 50, 60 years ago is now?
So he's only rich because of the currency inflating?
Oh, no, that's how he was rich. Now he's rich because he became president. Yeah, he's quadrupled his net worth since he's become president. I don't know what any of that has to do with the tariffs.
To lose money.
I don't know what that has to do with the tariffs, but you know.
Yeah, what's up with the tariffs?
I don't know, we were talking about that and you went off on some little tangent.
Okay, so what's the problem with tariffs?
Tariffs in general, nothing. Okay. But Donald Trump, the way he was doing tariffs is horrible. That's why we lost so many jobs in the United States. That's why we have an unemployment rate that's the worst it's been in 4 years, right? That's why we have all of those things.
Can you compare the unemployment rate in the past 5 years?
Yeah, it's the worst now as it's been since we got shut down for COVID.
Okay, well, can you look up the exact number on your computer,
that it is right
please?
Now is 4.4.
So what was it before?
Before Donald Trump took office, I think it was 3.5.
Well, can you look it up and see?
I could, or you could look it up and see.
Well, we
Yeah,
could.
I don't.
Yeah, could concede your
I'm
point
sorry.
if you're correct, right?
I'm sorry. Is there like a sign on my thing that says freaking guest research agency?
So you can just say whatever you want, and you're not going to back it up.
No, you should tell me whether I'm wrong or not, right or not. What do you think it was? How about this? We'll make a bet. I said it was about 3.5. What do you think it was?
I'm not sure what it was.
Okay, so you have no idea what the what it is. Okay, I'll look it up. That's fine. No problem. Unemployment rate. January 2025. Doop. It was 3.7. Nope, sorry. Yeah, 3.7. That doesn't sound right. I need to get into the... Oh, no. My light went off. I forgot about that. But anyways, what's up? What about
What's up? What's it now?
4.4?
Okay, so who's losing their jobs?
4.3. 4.3 now.
Okay, who's losing their jobs?
Americans.
Obviously, we're in America. So who is losing their jobs? Because the numbers in the private sector are pretty good.
Numbers in the private sector are failing horribly wrong. What are you talking about?
I don't think they are.
Oh, but they are. Yeah.
Do you think we should tax the rich?
Yeah. Why would you not think we should tax the rich people?
Isn't a tariff a tax on the rich?
Tariffs are tax on American consumers and importers.
How so? How so?
You're just all over the place, aren't you?
Answer the question.
Well, I get tired of playing like the bounce from question to question thing. It just kind of bores me.
Again, you believe we should tax the rich. Isn't a tariff a tax on the rich?
No, tariff is a tax on importers.
If you tax the rich, aren't the people that work for them going to pay? Aren't they going to raise their prices to make that money back up?
That's what happens with tariffs. It's not what happens when you
What
tax
do you think
rich.
would happen if... Yeah, so if you tax the rich, what do you think the rich is going to do?
They're going to pay taxes?
So who pays the majority of taxes right now?
Pays the majority of the taxes by rate or by amount?
By amount.
Yeah, that would be the middle class. Because it's the largest group.
But they pay the smallest amount of taxes.
No, they pay a higher rate. Okay, and there's a lot more.
A higher percentage, yeah.
Yeah.
But the majority of taxes are paid by the rich, and if you tax the rich, you're just going to up the prices on
Not
their
by
stuff.
rich people, by corporations to a certain point, and that's because they have most of the money. Yeah.
So
if you
the
tax
buildings
middle class,
paying?
sir, if you tax
Are the buildings paying?
Sir, hello. If you
Or
tax
people?
Sir, hello. Do you think corporations
Hello?
are buildings? Is that what you think corporations are?
Well, you just made it seem like corporations are paying taxes, not people.
Did you just say are the buildings paying taxes because you think corporations are buildings?
Do you think corporations are buildings?
Sir,
That's what I'm asking you.
I heard you with your lighter. What in the heck do you have in that pipe if you think that I meant buildings?
Well, I said people. You said corporations. So
You do realize there's a difference between individual tax rate and corporate tax rate, right?
do you realize only humans pay taxes, right?
Yes, human beings pay taxes. You can pay individual taxes or you can pay corporate taxes, right?
And how do you pay corporate taxes?
Hopefully with a good CPA.
If you have only way you can pay corporate taxes if you have a business,
what
right?
in the fuck is the point of this? What in the flying fuck is the point of this conversation?
It's a conversation.
Not a very
you having
good
trouble
one.
answering
What
these
is
questions?
the point of it?
You seem pretty stumped.
Sure, sir. You can call me whatever you want. I'm bored and I don't know what we're talking about.
Well, then kick me and let's move on.
Okay. If that's what you want, sweetheart.
That's what you want. You can't handle the conversation. You're bored with your fuck.
All right. I don't know what we were talking about. Apparently, this guy doesn't know what corporations are or people. which is interesting. I didn't know we could not have we did not know what people or corporations are, but hey, here we are. Yo, please make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Marius, thank you so much for the €5. I really appreciate that. Said love your and Polly's stream. Love the rage rate regardless. Trucking. Trump didn't run it to the ground. It's a market after regarding trucking, to be frank, Trump didn't run it to the ground. It's a market after COVID. It had to go down. It was actually going up after COVID. It actually skyrocketed after COVID and then went down. So that's not exactly true. So I don't know. Anyways, don't know how that makes sense. One second, I gotta turn on a light. I forgot I unplugged my studio light to stop it from charging, and then it just died. So I gotta go turn on a different light. Hello, how are you? Oh, y'all make sure if you got, hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button. If you like support, I do super chat, super stickers, DJ glasses. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
Hey, what's up?
Hi, how old are you?
14.
Oh, no. Gotta be older than that. Gotta be a lot older than that. God, what are you doing? Why are you calling back? Holy shit, dude. Go play with Legos or something, dude. You're 14. I don't know what we're doing over here, man. Bro can't vote. What do you mean vote? Vote would be so much higher. Dude can't get a driver's permit. Hello, how are you?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm great. How old are you?
I am 40 years old, so I'm in a safe zone here.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I used to, brother. I used to listen to you and get all like annoyed and mad, but now, dude, you're making sense.
I was making sense the whole time.
Yes, sir. I mean, yes. I totally agree with that. But you know, I voted for him because he had the same values as me. You know, I'm pro America. I'm a veteran. I fought over, and I was in Iraq in 2008.
I appreciate your
pro
service.
Second Amendment.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you, sir. I am pro Constitution. I'm pro America first, America only. But now I'm seeing all this stuff happen, bro, and now I'm I'm changing my mind.
I hate to
on
tell
this
you,
guy.
Donald Trump wasn't pro any of those things when he was president the first time.
I'm realizing that now.
Yep. So
I'm finally opening my eyes. So thank you. I've been listening to you a lot. So thanks, bro. I really appreciate you bringing stuff into light. You know,
man.
You freaking opened my eyes.
I appreciate that, man. I do appreciate you. I'm going to move on so I can get to a Trump supporter, but I do really appreciate you coming over. And again, thank you for your service. All right, man?
Take care.
You too. Luca, thank you so much for the $10. I really appreciate that. Listen, late was in the hospital, but hope you make it to New York, catching your stream. Stay strong, brother. Yeah, no, I will definitely make it to New York, 100%. I will be there. We were just talking about tattoo shops and stuff there. So, yeah. We'll definitely make it over there. All right, we're going to keep this thing going. At least I hope we're going to keep this thing going. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. Allison, thank you so much for the $2 suitcase. Is that for my trip to New York? Is that what it's for? I hope that will go towards my baggage fees, which I haven't exactly paid for yet. Hello, how are you? Uh-oh. Someone's doing dishes. I am great to do dishes by. Hello, how are you?
Oh, I actually got the call in.
Yep, how old are you?
Okay. I'm 23.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I do, yeah. Big fan.
Awesome. Why is that?
See, I just think that, like, honestly, no, I don't got nothing, man. I wanted to put up a bit, but I couldn't even do the voice I was going to do. You have a great day.
You too. Guys, leave the comedy to me. I'm so much better at it, okay? Love you guys. I love Trump. That's what I tell myself every morning. I put my merkin on my head. Oh, I messed up that. I'm now going to do more tariffs. All of the other countries say. Don Jr. tells me my tariffs are the best. I love doing I love doing some good. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
34.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yeah, I still support Trump.
Awesome. Why is that?
I just feel that under his leadership, even though there's some flaws, I do think that it's been better for the country. You can't ignore the fact that when Biden was in office, here in California, gas was $7.
Oh my God,
And
President Biden is the president of California?
no, obviously he's not, but
Then why do I care about that?
under Democrat leadership, everything is expensive.
Sir, there have been more months of gas being more expensive under Trump administration than less expensive than when he took office.
Maybe under for your reality, but for me, to be honest,
my
no,
reality is the numbers that the Trump administration is reporting. What is yours?
Mine is I remember clearly 2021, 2022, and 2023, where gas here in California was $7 under Biden's leadership, and at the end of the day, Biden, Democrat, the Gavin Newsom is all under the same umbrella.
First of all, no, it's not. Second of all, Gavin Newsom doesn't control your gas prices outside of it being taxed heavier in California because California is more heavily taxed. And sorry, y'all, but that's what you guys vote for if you live there, right? You and the constituents of California vote for those taxes to stay high. So I don't want to hear you guys complaining about it, right? So, second of all, the gas price in California, I'm pretty sure never actually hit $7. I don't think that actually existed, but we can look that up later. Third of all,
100%
okay.
existed.
Third of all, okay, you would actually have to show me how Biden actually freaking, perpetuated any of this, right? You'd actually have to show me how he actually made that happen.
I wish I had the report on me. Obviously, I'm not in front of my computer at the moment, but I do remember clearly where I know the Saudis want nothing to do with Biden, and they refused to work with him because under his leadership, they felt like it was. I can't remember exactly the article, but I remember reading that the Saudis purposely did not want to work with Biden, which caused us to have.
So you are right.
High gas prices.
You are right. That is a small part of the conversation, and you're ignoring the bigger part, though.
Which is?
Yeah, the reason why they didn't want to work with Biden is because they had already made a deal with Donald Trump, and that deal was to keep gas prices higher by lowering the supply of oil across the world. Yeah, so Donald Trump created the deal, which was called the OPEC Plus deal, which reduced the amount of oil that was being produced across the world by 10 million barrels a day, which decreased the supply of oil across the entire world. Then, when demand opened up after COVID, oil went through the oil price went through the roof. Then Joe Biden didn't go to the Saudis. Well, I guess the Saudis were technically part of them. He went to OPEC and was like, hey, can we undo the deal that Donald Trump created? And they said, no, we already created a deal with Donald Trump, so we're not going to work with you.
Right, and and then if that is true, there's a reason why the Saudis rather work with Trump than Biden. And then too, like
hold on. No, we're not moving off of what you just said. The reason why they would rather work, they wanted to work with Donald Trump on that deal and not under Biden, is because it made them a fuck ton of fucking money at the cost of the American consumer. Donald Trump's deal cost the American consumer a whole bunch of money, okay, paying for gas, and so for OPEC was making hand over foot at the cost of the American citizens based off of Donald Trump's deal. The reason why the prices were higher to begin with was because of Trump. Okay, so don't try to play this like, oh, it was Biden's fault for not being able to undo Donald Trump's horrible deal. No, it's Donald Trump's fault for doing Donald Trump's horrible deal to begin with.
Yeah, but you got to remember too, Biden is a guy that had been in politics for over 35 years. I think that's where his, what do you call that when you, sorry, not local politics, international policy. That's when I feel like Biden could have, should have worked some magic. To be honest, I know it sounds kind of, just saying like that, but he should have. He should have.
Sir, that's a
worked it out.
ridiculous
I mean,
argument. That
that's
is a
really-
ridiculous argument to try to blame Joe Biden for not being able to undo Donald Trump's fucking deal. That's nuts.
He should have.
Sir, how about we blame Trump?
Trump?
Sir, how about we blame Trump for making the shitty deal to begin with?
Is it shitty now though? Obviously, it's working
It's
out now.
over.
It was shitty for
It ended in 20. It ended at the end of 2022. At the beginning of 2023, gas prices started going down, and they went down all the way through Biden's term. In 2024, we became more energy independent than we'd been in 70 years. We outproduced Saudi Arabia when it came to oil in 2024. Under the Biden administration.
I disagree with that.
You can't disagree with that,
And I
sir.
wish- I
That's
wish
a
I had
fact. I'm not asking that wasn't like an opinion thing. I was informing you, okay, that in the year 2024, we became the most energy
have to
independent
look
we've
that
been
up.
in 70 years.
I'm gonna keep you on that. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Please do.
Because that doesn't sound, at least to me, it doesn't sound right. Because I know what I was paying in 2023, 2024. Here, obviously, yes, California it is, but like I said before, that's Democratic policy, And then that's another thing.
What
too, I
policy?
think,
What
and
policy?
Also people like you, people like you and other people that oppose Trump a lot. I feel like you guys like to ignore the fact that people like Biden, people like Pelosi, and I don't mean to throw these names out there, but it falls on, for me, it falls under the same umbrella. Even Chuck Schumer, Mitch McConnell, you guys don't like to point out these lifelong politicians, and they're the ones to blame. You guys want to blame Trump, a guy that's only been in politics for the last, what?
Sir, I just blame Donald
6
Trump for
years?
the shit that he does.
6 years?
Sir,
But you see how
sir,
you won't even
I blame
look
Donald
like you
Trump.
won't even bring that
Sir,
up.
it wasn't Mitch McConnell or Nancy Pelosi or Chuck Schumer that went to OPEC to get them to drop the amount of oil that was being produced across the world. It wasn't
But
Chuck,
they're the ones
sir,
that have been
it
in
wasn't
office.
Chuck Schumer,
They've
it
been
wasn't
in
Nancy
office.
Pelosi,
Wait.
it wasn't Joe Biden that made your gas prices go through the fucking roof. It was specifically Donald Trump that did that, okay? So no, I'm not going to give credit to other people for Donald Trump's failings. I'll give them credit for their own failings, like the destruction of the middle class and all sorts of other things that have happened throughout the United States history. But I'm not going to blame them for the shit Donald Trump did. Okay?
I guess we're gonna have to disagree on that because I know, and like you said, it might be fact, but I'm gonna have to look at that.
Oh, it's okay. It's on the screen for everybody to see, sir.
I don't.
I know you can't
I
see it, but everybody else can see it right here where it shows in 2024, the United States produced more energy than ever before. And it actually shows all the freaking natural gas, all the crude oil, all of that stuff, and how much we produced going across the entire world, across the entire United States.
And who's sourcing this information?
This is the EIA.
All right. Yeah, because
But that's okay. If you don't like that one, if you don't like that one, okay, we can show right here in 2023 where U.S. energy soared to a new record in 2023 under Biden. Yep, that's on Forbes.
And okay, then why does it? You think? Well, obviously, when you bring this up, you bring it up as a national gas prices, right? You're not
Because it
just
is.
stating one state, right?
Because the president is the president of the United States, not just of one state. If your prices in Florida are twice mine, or your prices in California are twice mine in Florida, is that Donald Trump's fault?
No, it's Democratic policies.
Sir, is it Donald Trump's fault?
Well,
It's a yes or no question.
No.
Okay,
For me,
so if it's not Donald Trump's fault that currently California is like $2 more expensive on gas than it is in Florida where I live, okay, then it also wasn't Biden's fault, 2 years ago when the exact same thing happened.
But they're in the same party, Democratic policies. This is Democratic policies,
That's
and that's the
Democrat,
thing
sir,
that
sir,
you don't
sir,
want to
sir,
look at.
sir, 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 sir,
At the end of the
sir.
day,
There's
you live in
tons of
Florida, which is
Democratic
what?
states, sir. There's tons of Democratic
Florida
states,
is Republican,
sir.
correct? Florida is
California is
Republican
just super expensive. Okay.
under Democratic
No,
policies.
sir, it's under
like
Democratic policy because people in California voted for that. Do you live in California?
I live in. I've been here my 34 years.
Congratulations. Who's your district representative when for your district in California? At state legislature.
What's her name? That no disrespect, but the older black woman, Maxine Waters.
Dude, that's not a state legislator.
Well, she's still in charge of the other neighborhoods. Dude. She walks around. She comes to every home around here, knocking, asking for the vote. Whether she's a congresswoman, right?
Yeah, sir. Who runs your state legislature? Because those people are the people that represent you, and those are the people that are voting on the taxes in your state, and those are the people that are deciding how much taxes you pay on your gas.
See, that's new to me. That's something I learned today.
So you don't know who sets it, who represents you for these things, but yet you're trying to blame Joe Biden or Gavin Newsom for it.
I know that. Like I said, Maxine Waters is part of the congressman of the district.
You want to know something crazy?
Go ahead.
Governors, like presidents, don't have the authority to tax.
It's state legislators that go. You're saying that they're the ones that go and bring up the bills up north.
Yeah, up in there in Sacramento. Yep, legislatures tax, and you don't know who they are.
Well, that's why I'm gonna have to look at that. And then, like I said, this is all I'm learning as I go. I've never been involved in politics. I've been in for the last 5 years. I've been getting involved in politics, and I've noticed those little things. And I got involved when I saw those gas prices was $7. And look, I'll go based off what I see. Right at that moment in time, it was Joe Biden that was president, and I blame him.
Well, I'm going to give you another piece of information. It's going to be really fun. Outside of things like the OPEC Plus deal, in which Donald Trump went to OPEC and begged them to raise your gas prices, generally, gas prices just aren't a presidential stat. They have very, very little to do with it, to be completely honest with you. Yep, they have very, very little to do with anything that's going with gas prices, because gas prices go off of supply and demand, and the global, the price of crude oil across the world is set by OPEC, not by the U.S. president.
That's good to know.
Yep. So even though, all right, you have a figurehead up there to blame, doesn't mean that it's their fault. Okay. OPEC sets the prices based off the supply and demand within the system, and it can be affected by everything from the Russia-Ukraine war to currently, Iran just closed the Strait of Hormuz, right? Iran closed the Strait of Hormuz because they were going into negotiations with Donald Trump, and 20% of the world's oil goes to the Strait of Hormuz. Right? That just happened.
Right.
So now gas prices are going to spike a little bit, right? Because of Donald Trump's negotiations with Iran. They're just and then they're going to go back down, right? But there's so many factors when it comes to these type of things. All right, there's so many factors that come to these sorts of things.
And that's I'm gonna look more into that. And thank you for that information.
Absolutely.
And one last thing before I go, I want to pivot to something that I hope politics changes going forward. Because I will say, like I said, I've been noticing the last 5 years. I noticed that this presidential run that Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, I didn't like the fact that neither of them had to debate anybody. They both just got pumped up to the top. And I feel like that's not good in politics. Like, they didn't really give us a choice to really pick anybody. Trump didn't debate no Republican going up to when he got nominated, and then Kamala Harris just went ahead and replaced Joe Biden. They didn't even have to debate anybody either.
So those are two very different situations. One, Donald Trump should have debated and just chose not to. Donald Trump didn't want to debate anybody because he knew he'd get schooled because he's not a very good debater. Right. So Donald Trump just chose not to. But you could have not voted for him. He was just running in a primary. You could have not voted for him. Y'all could have voted for somebody who actually chose to participate in the debates. Republicans chose to vote in the guy that didn't debate. That's not anybody like that's y'all's fault.
And same thing with the
No,
Democrats. I
Kamala
think
Harris was
they could have gotten a
completely
better choice
different
over Kamala
because
Harris.
because Joe Biden dropped out of the race. There was an open convention and nobody ran against her.
Which and I did remember reading an article saying the reason is because they told a lot of people that were thinking of running to stand down and
That's
don't
not why.
try. I remember reading something.
No,
like
the
that.
reason
I wish
why
I had
was
these
money.
articles in front of me. It's a
No,
while
the
ago,
reason was because
but
of money. It was simply because of money. And it was just completely
I just wasn't a fan of that. Not like the traditional way where both parties had to go and debate
Sir,
people.
you do
The
realize that
fact
when she
none
won
of
that
them did
convention, she had 101 days up until the election. You wanted to run an
Right.
entire primary, get like maybe 20 candidates in there, have a half dozen debates, do a bunch of interviews.
And
Maybe
that falls
somebody,
on Democratic leadership.
maybe
They should
somebody.
have worked that out.
How could they have worked that out, sir? How could they
They should have
create
worked it out.
time?
They should have talked to Biden, talked to their vice president.
They
president.
did talk to Biden. They tried to get him to drop out 6 months earlier. He didn't do it. So now that Joe Biden has dropped out, now that there has to be an open convention, in what time would you have liked to have a debate?
They should have. I don't know. That's obviously, yeah, it's a little bit of time, but that's something they should have. All leadership from Chuck Schumer to everybody in the House, they should have done something. And
Sir, there was 107 days. When were they going to do something? Were they going to tell you who the Democratic nominee was 4 hours before the election?
I don't know.
Sir, there was an open convention according to the Democratic Party rules, which again are the same party rules that Republicans follow also. If a president drops out or becomes incapacitated, the candidate drops out, then it becomes an open convention. Anybody could run against Kamala Harris. Nobody could have stopped him. Nobody had the money to run against him, okay? Because the Biden administration had all the money because they had been fundraising. And Biden, the ticket was Biden and Kamala Harris, so therefore she had access to all the money, all the fundraising dollars that Joe Biden had grown throughout his entire time running. She had all the money to run. Nobody else did. Nobody had the time to raise that kind of money, so nobody ran against her. The only one that even talked about running against her was Joe Manchin, and he didn't stand a fucking chance.
Right. I do remember that. Right. Now, all right, then thank you for the conversation, and just I want to hear your opinion. Why do you think she really lost?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's a black woman.
Lost?
Emphasis on the second part.
You really believe that's the only reason?
I don't think that's the only reason. I think that's the main reason.
It wasn't no policy, nothing that you think that she fucked up. That sorry for the word, but
you asked me what I thought was the main reason. Donald Trump has only beaten two people in an election. They are both the only two women to run on a major party ticket in the United States history.
A white woman and a black woman.
Yep, the only two women in the history of the United States have ever ran on a major party ticket in the United States, and Donald Trump only has ever beaten those two women.
And the one time he ran against Biden, he lost, right?
Yep.
Another man.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll give you on that. But all right, I just wanted to hear your opinion on that, and thank you for the good conversation.
Yeah, man. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too. You take care.
Just saying. If you want to talk about policy, all Donald Trump get out there did was go, drill, baby, drill. Vote for me. Everything will be amazing. I'll do all the stuff. Don't worry about the kids on Epstein Island. I totally might not have been there. Neither was totally not Elon. Elon totally might not have been there also. Totally possibly. That was pretty much. I might be a little off exactly what his words were. Scott said, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Said, look up Billy Carter, Jimmy's brother, and his beer. All right, I got to look up this Billy Carter thing later. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with this Billy Carter thing. It's very strange. Scott keeps mentioning it. I still don't know what it is. Y'all, if you guys make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate you guys. We're gonna keep this thing going for a little bit. Everybody apparently knows about this but me. All right, whatever. Hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you guys would like to support the live, I do have Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. They're all at Polypolitics, just like my name. That's a great way to support, to bypass all the other fun stuff. If you're over on the YouTube side, we do have Super Chat, Super Stickers. And like you see, I like to put out the comments and stuff like that if you want to send those and help support the live. And I do have the DJ glasses still, trying to finish off that one over on the TikTok too. So if you guys would like to support, I really, really appreciate you guys. It does help the live keep going and for me to keep being able to do all this stuff. So I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We're going to open up the phone lines, check the guest request box, see who we have over here, and see if we can keep this thing going. So love you guys. Love you guys long time. Hello, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How old are you?
22.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I do.
Awesome. Why is that?
Well, I feel like Trump is doing what he says he was going to do on immigration. Now, I will say this. There are a lot of things that I don't like that Trump is doing, but I live in California. And I am faced with some of the highest taxes here in the state. Us Californians happen to choose between groceries and gas. So, and I also have a friend who's homeless, and a lot of these immigrants are taking all the funds and all that. And my friend who's homeless, he can't get any of it. So my question to you is, why do us Americans have to suffer and we have to support all the other countries that come in here illegally? If you are legal here, I've got no problem with that. But if you are illegal, you come into this country illegally, why do we have to support for their health insurance and all that when we barely can afford to, when the government can barely afford to pay for the people as it is?
Perfect. That's pretty simple. Outside of certain things like, like you said, Medi-Cal, which actually saves the California taxpayers money by supporting federal government assistance isn't available to undocumented immigrants. Now, again, in certain things, okay, that it does help, like Medi-Cal. But the reason for things like Medi-Cal is because paying into things like that, it helps to get preventative health care, which then stops things from like Intala being enforced, which then ends up costing the California taxpayers even more money. So it's very helpful, right? But I don't believe that anybody should be getting anything in place of anyone, right? If you're homeless in the United States, you also get a whole bunch of social safety nets and benefits that undocumented immigrants don't. Most of them,
No,
actually. Yes, you do. Okay. So
he hasn't.
Well, whether he has or he hasn't, I don't know what your friend has done, but you are eligible for things like SNAP benefits, which is not available to undocumented immigrants, right? So there's tons of different things that are available to you in California. And again, I think you guys have one of the highest median household incomes in the United States, if not the highest. So I don't think people are really choosing between gas and groceries.
Gas is $7 a gallon.
Gas is not $7 a gallon.
It was $7 a gallon during the Biden presidency. Yes, it was.
It is not $7 now a gallon right now, is it?
No, it's not,
Okay.
but it's still
Cool.
higher than the nation average, the national average.
Yes, I'm sure it is. You guys have a lot of taxes.
Why do you think I'm trying to move out of California?
I don't know why you're still there. Go away. There's tons of people begging to get in. You can be moved out anytime.
Nope.
Yep, California's population is actually rising every year. It's risen every year for 3 years.
Not according to U-Haul. They won't even bring back the trucks. They actually pay you to bring back the U-Haul trucks to California.
Yeah, usually the people. I'm assuming that the people moving into California probably have movers, not U-Hauls. That's why the median household income is so high.
Well, do you live in California yourself?
No, I grew up in California though.
Do you live here anymore?
I do not know.
Why'd you move?
I moved out for work, and then I'm here because my daughter lives here now.
guaranteed you move out because of the prices before it got way too high.
I moved out here because I have an ex who had my kid when I was very young, okay? And she lives in Florida, so I live in Florida because I want to be around my kid.
Okay, cool. So you live in a Republican state, correct?
Sir, if my daughter lived on the fucking North Pole, I would live there too.
I don't
Okay?
give a fuck.
I don't know why you're trying to make this a Republican Democrat thing. I live here because my daughter lives here. Okay. If it was a Republican state, I'd live here. If it was a Democratic state, if fucking the governor of California was Hitler, I would still live in California.
I just want to say
Or still in
this.
Florida,
You know the Democrats also supported the slaves, and it was the Republicans who freed them, right?
Yes, and back then I would have been a Republican because the Republicans were actually the liberal party and Democrats were actually the conservative party.
Yeah,
Sir, I'm a progressive. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not even a registered Democrat. So why the fuck would I care about that?
Anyway, I'm just gonna say this.
Why are you ignoring what I just fucking said, sir? I'm not a Democrat. I'm a progressive. See, back then you would have been a Democrat, and you would have been the people that started the KKK.
Oh no, I'm hardcore Republican.
No, you're a hardcore conservative.
Mm-mm.
You're a conservative. Okay, that's why you're a Republican now. Okay. That's how that works, okay? See, back then Democrats were conservatives. I'm not a conservative. Conservatives suck, right? I'm a progressive. Therefore, I'm on the left-hand side. Got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Sorry, this is states by median household income, by the way. California is second. Maryland was actually number one. Maryland.
Well, it's still expensive to live here.
It's incredibly expensive to live in California, sir. But the reason why it's so incredibly expensive is one, the weather is amazing, right? Two, you guys have a lot.
People come here for the weather.
Yeah, the weather is absolutely amazing. Okay, but also,
honestly,
okay,
I think
because the weather,
because
the weather's so good, and it literally California has the fourth largest economy on the planet. Money is constantly flowing into California. Okay, so California is doing great. Okay, and I'm not saying everybody in California is doing great. I'm not saying that. I'm also not saying that California doesn't have its problems. Of course, it does. Okay, but people are not flooding out of California. That's not happening. California doesn't have these like big issues that everybody is talking about. Is it expensive? Yes. Do they get paid more? Yes. People make more money and they get paid more money. It happens. Okay, but I would advise that if you don't like things like social safety nets, if you don't care about like taking care of people or supporting your community, then I would suggest that you move out. Right, someplace that's more red, where the median household income is abysmally low, where the education rate is freaking horrible. Right, where your kids grow up stupider. Right.
I don't have kids,
Okay.
so I don't have to worry about that.
All right. Well, you do have an income, correct?
Right now, I was actually unemployed. Took me
Yes. Well, sir, if you're
long time
unemployed,
to-
it doesn't matter whether you live in a red state or a blue state, you're going to have a really rough time. Actually, if you're unemployed, there's actually a lot more benefits in places like California than there are in red places. So you might want to stay where you're at and take your ass down to the freaking, the office where you apply for these things.
Oh no, I actually got a new job, and it's nationwide. The company that I'm working for. I'm not going to tell you who it's for.
Oh,
But-
I thought you meant nationwide. Like nationwide is on your side.
No,
That's what I
I'd
thought you
never
were
go
saying.
work
I was like,
for
you
a
can't say that
liberal
after.
corporation.
Nationwide does not
So-
sponsor this live.
Oh, I know they don't.
But if they want to, if there's any nationwide people out there, like, just let me know. I'll plug you guys. I have no problem. Like, I don't care. So you're not
No.
unemployed.
Yeah, I actually got a job. I'm actually waiting on my first check.
Well, congratulations. Well, I guess you're not moving anywhere
Yeah.
then, huh?
No, they said I could still transfer over.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually trying to fix up my house right now and trying to reap the benefits of actually moving, because I actually want to pay for a house that's got like a really low mortgage. So,
Do you work for U-Haul?
and for those asking, no, I'm not on welfare. Quit asking.
Do you work for U-Haul?
No, I don't.
That'd been funny.
I worked for Dish. I worked for ADT.
I'm just saying that would have been funny if you were just like, they won't bring the trucks back, and then you like that's your new job. You just bring the trucks back to California.
No, but I can tell you this. I worked at a customer's house, and me and my buddy, went to a customer's house and they had an elevator, and they will not work if the communication wires don't work. So he cut the actual elevator cables.
I'm
Then you
sorry.
just-
Did you just admit to a felony?
I didn't admit to anything. My buddy did it. I had nothing to do with it. Anyway, I'm just trying to stall for time and waste your fucking time.
Is that why you get fired from so many jobs, because you cut elevator wires?
I didn't cut elevator wires. My buddy did.
Yeah, your buddy did. I'm sure it was your friend.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
And he also likes blowing shit up in the desert, too. Like microwaves and other things, too.
So he likes blowing
rednecks.
shit up with you in the desert?
What?
All right, I'm bored. Anyways, that dude was kind of a special one. We got a winner. Shush, thank you so much to 2 hours. Thank you for all you and Ari are doing. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Scott said, food or gas? The answer is brown beans. Oh, gotcha. Brown, that covers both. Dumb Scott. So fucking stupid. That was fucking stupid. Okay? And I'm mad that you made me laugh at that. Okay? I'm mad that you made me laugh at that. And Luca, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Luca. We need one more DJ Glasses over here on TikTok, dude. I really appreciate that. Jojo, thank you so much for the laughing disco. Truth, thank you so much for the happy poop. I really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. All right, we're going to keep this thing going. Y'all, please make sure, let's get this thing up to, I can't even see how many we're at. Let's get this thing up to 200,000 likes. I can't believe we're not there yet. There's like quite a few people in there. We should easily, let's just go straight to 250,000. How about that? Can we go straight to 250,000? I really appreciate you guys. Again, y'all, if you'd like support.
It's insane.
I do have pay links in the bio, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. They're all at Polypolitics, like my name. DJ Glasses are still going. You guys are awesome. Let's open up these phone lines. Let's keep this thing going. I really appreciate you guys. More than importantly, make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. You guys rock. Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 38.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yep.
Why is that?
Oh, I was listening to that last caller. He had a lot of good points about how crappy California is.
Oh my God. Is this
Basically-
just like the California Wine Live? Because this is like 3 straight callers.
Oh, I didn't hear the other two. It's interesting. I remember, you're always saying, oh, California is gaining population. They're not. That's why they're going to lose 4 electoral seats here in 2028.
Sure about that?
Yeah, that's the projection. So you're always like, oh, they're gaining. Nope, they're not gaining. So you can lie to your audience, but they could go look it up.
Yeah, or
you
we
can
could
lie
just,
to yourself, too.
Or we could just pull it up on the screen for
Well,
everybody
you
to
can
see.
go pull up some liberal. You can go pull up some. That's what's wrong with your brain is you can just pull up some liberal article that kind of corroborates your
some liberal
your
article. You mean
your worldview?
You mean
but
California?
It's not true.
You mean California.gov?
Probably like Los Angeles liberal.
No,
hack.
it's literally California.gov.
No, it's literally liberal hack.
No,
LA
sir, I'm not
Times or
like
something.
asking your opinion. It's on the screen and it's California.gov.
No, I'm telling you.
Okay.
Go look up what's going to happen in 2028.
Okay. You're acting like I'm like
Google.
trying to figure
Google
this
it.
out.
Google.
You want me to ask?
2028.
You want me to ask Google to predict the future?
No, say
Hey Google, can you predict the future? And also, can you also please give me the next Powerball numbers? Since apparently you're Miss Cleo.
Just type in
I'm not doing
Type
whatever
in like
whatever you're about to say. I'm not going to do it. So you might as well just save your breath. Okay.
distribution. You know, type in like distribution of electoral
Sir,
votes, California,
I'm pretty
2028.
sure
And
I
then that
already
way, that
said I'm
might
not
help.
gonna do that.
That might help your
Sir, did I say any? Sir,
neurological condition.
did I say anything about electoral votes?
That's how they determine it.
Sir,
Based
did
on
I say
population.
anything about electoral votes?
That's how they determine it.
No, sir.
Dumbass.
What did I say?
Nobody cares what you have to say.
So you're trying to convince me, right? You're trying to say that what I was saying was wrong, but you don't care about what I had to say.
Well, everything you say is wrong.
It's
hard to
really,
keep up.
really difficult for you to tell me, like, for you to say that what I was saying was wrong if you don't know what I said.
No, I didn't say I don't know what you said. Nobody cares what you say.
Oh, okay. Well, obviously you do because you took the time to actually call in on a phone line to talk to me about what I said. You actually started the conversation by, I just listened to your last conversation with that last guy and the points about California. So you literally sat through all of the last conversation listening to what I had to say and then picked up the phone, dialed the number to then talk to me about what I had to say. And now you're telling me that nobody cares what I have to say. Sir, of all the people here, you're the one who cares the most about what I have to say because you are actually engaging with it.
Well, I was listening to the other guy. He had a lot of good points.
You were listening to that other guy without listening to me. That's pretty impressive.
Well, every time you say something, it's kind of stupid.
All right. Well, I can see that this conversation is going absolutely fucking nowhere. All right. So I'm going to move on to somebody with all their brain cells firing, okay?
Okay. All right.
All right. Cool. Goodness gracious. That's pretty bright. He must have been on like that mute button like really quick. Shayna, thank you so much for the $10. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. So for helping educate and destroying MAGA. Thank you so much, Shayna. I really appreciate that. That's very sweet of you. Tad, thank you so much for the $5. Says Pokemon is turning 30. Yeah, 30. Oh, I feel old now. I feel old every day, Tatted. I appreciate that. How to Live, thank you so much for the gifted membership. I appreciate that. TS Tim, thank you so much. A gallon of gas costs more than a piece of chicken, a piece of broccoli, and a tortilla, and one other thing. Thanks, Barack Hussein Obama. That's in case you guys forgot, that's what the Trump government said you're allowed to eat every day. One broccoli. You get one piece of chicken, one broccoli, and one tortilla. You're welcome. And you're gonna fucking like it too, by the way. Just thought I'd let you know. You better fucking like it. Thanks so much, Tim. Hunter said you a real one. I appreciate that. That was very sweet. Thank you. VJ, thank you for the face. Draco said, not nice, Polly. My Google came up when you said, hey, Google. Did I set off a whole bunch of people's hey, Google by saying that? Did I set? By the way, hey, Siri and Alexa, play Never Gonna Give You Up. Hopefully that's going off with all of you guys right now. Trojan, thank you so much for the $5. Said, listening from Australia, you helped me debate my silly MAGA friends. The fact that there's MAGA Australians, the fact that there's MAGA Australians just throws me completely off. Yeah.
It's insane.
It worked. So people are actually saying that worked. That's funny. That's funny. Hey, Gemini. Play Never Gonna Give You Up. Jen. Thank you so much to the $5. Favorite Girl Scout cookies? I don't really have one. I've honestly never been a big Girl Scout cookies person. And I think all the good ones are all chocolate, and I don't like chocolate. Lemonades. Oh, no, that's it. It's lemonades. I like the lemonades. Someone said it. It was the lemonades. I forgot about that. I don't like the I don't like the chocolate of Thin Mints. Everyone loves Thin Mints. I have Thin Mints in my freezer right now. Fridge, one of them. That's the lemonades. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate that. All right, let's open up the phone lines. Keep this thing going. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. No, it's the lemonades. It's been settled. It's the lemonades. No questions asked. I will not be taking questions. Hello, how are you?
Hi.
Ooh, the peanut butter ones are good though.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, how old are you?
I am over 40.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
No, but I heard you say you're a progressive, and I'm actually opposed to both Trump and the left, and I was wondering if you'd be open to discussing that.
Nope. All right, we're gonna move on to the next caller. Keep this thing going. Hello, how are you?
6'7", 6'7".
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
59.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I do.
Awesome. Why is that?
I support his economic policy.
Yo, make sure you
aside
guys
from
hit that
tariffs.
follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Follow. You support his economic policies? What economic policy do you support?
His tax cuts.
His tax cuts?
His tax cuts.
Okay. Well,
yes.
What tax cuts? Are you a large corporation or something?
Well, actually, corporations do not pay taxes. Rich people don't pay taxes either. See, when you tax them, they put their money in tax-free investments or in overseas investments. And so they don't pay taxes. So what happens then is it hurts the economy because they're not using their money to expand capital and hire.
Sir, when do corporations hire?
When do they hire? When they feel the need to.
When they need to, correct. When do they expand?
When they feel like they're not going to get their brains.
No, they expand when there's a need to expand, right? Like Walmart doesn't build a new Walmart because you give them a tax break. Walmart builds a new Walmart because there's a place that needs a Walmart. Then with that, Walmart hires because there's not enough people to run the store, or because they build a new store. They don't hire because you give them a tax cut. All right. So none of the things that of us giving the corporations tax cuts actually opens up, expansion. It never doesn't open up jobs. It doesn't open up any of those things. All it does is it allows them to now freaking, take that money, give buybacks, stockholder buybacks and all sorts of stuff, and create what's called stagflation. What you're describing is trickle-down economics, and trickle-down economics.
Well, there's no such thing. There's no such thing as trickle-down economics. No economist outside an insane asylum is ever quoted anything called trickle-down economics. It's a leftist term.
Trickle-down economics isn't a leftist term, sir. It's a term to sir. It's a term to
It is. You can look up Walter Williams. Dr. Thomas Sowell will tell you that is not a true thing.
Sir, it is a true thing. Okay, just because you can name two people who say it's not a true thing doesn't mean it's not a true thing. Okay, it is a true thing. Okay, because it's a description.
So what happens
sir, are you going to let me finish?
Happens?
Are you going to let me finish my sentence? Because this will be the third time I tried to start it and finish it. Thank you. Okay, it is definitely a true thing. Okay, it is a thing described by giving large tax cuts to corporations. Okay, and then expecting that money to come down to the middle class, to have them expand, to have them create jobs, for them to boost the economy through tax cuts. That's literally what it is. Okay, what you're describing is what it is.
Well, tax cuts have never helped the economy. I mean, tax cuts have always helped the economy.
That is super not true. Actually, some of the largest parts
increasing taxes.
Sir, some of the most profitable times for our economy in American history happened when the corporate tax rate rose up to towards 90%.
Cite your source.
Literally, what source do you want, sir? Do you want to see GDP growth? Do you want to see economic boom? What do you want to see? It started after the Great Depression and moved all the way up through the 60s.
During 1923, taxes were cut and economic growth expanded.
And we went into the Great Depression.
which was caused by FDR's policies.
It was
of
caused by
increasing
massive tax
taxes.
cut. No, it was caused by those exact same tax cuts that you're talking about. And then after that, we started increasing tariffs. And after the Great Depression, we started increasing tariffs and increasing taxes. And then we increased and increased and increased and increased. And the America kept growing and growing and growing and growing. And the middle class freaking was the one that got the largest and got the strongest.
No, the middle class got stronger because tax cuts caused corporations to actually expand and build.
Sir, we were taxing corporations upwards of 90%. What are you talking about?
But what I'm telling you is, corporations don't pay taxes, and rich people don't pay taxes.
Corporations very do much pay taxes. Okay, if they didn't pay taxes, then why is Donald Trump?
Don't pay taxes.
Sir, if they don't pay taxes, then why?
Because I help them not do it,
sir. If you talk again in the middle of my fucking sentence, I will hang up the phone. Grow up. Holy shit. If corporations don't pay taxes, then what is the whole point of Donald Trump doing 2 different freaking lowerings of the corporate tax rate? What's the point of him doing that if corporations don't pay taxes?
It's called tax exempt positions in overseas investments.
Sir, if they don't pay taxes, then lowering the tax rate would do nothing, correct?
They pass it on to you.
They pass on us. Prices are higher than they were when Donald Trump took office. So obviously they're not passing it on to us because they keep raising prices.
Gas prices?
No, sir. Gas prices are not one of them. Consumer prices are. Grocery prices are. But the price of gas isn't set by the United States.
What I'm telling you historically is taxing the rich. It's an economic fact.
It is an economic fact, sir, but the fact that you have to go back to 1923. So
how do you think the rich became rich?
A lot of crime.
By getting taxed by people like you?
Sir, I don't tax anyone. Do I look like the fucking federal government to you?
The people who pay taxes are typically who can't afford tax shelters and people like me who can get them out of it.
Sir, corporations pay taxes. Corporations pay quite a bit of taxes. Corporations pay a lot
Yeah,
less
I know.
taxes.
I know.
All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and mute you because I'm getting
taxes.
really tired of not being able to say like an entire sentence without. How old did you say you were, sir?
Because you're wrong.
Sir, how would you know if I'm
59.
wrong? Every time I say 3 words, you start screaming. You can't even wait long enough to hear what I have to say to even know if I'm wrong.
I'll listen. Go ahead.
Sir,
Go ahead, educate me. Go ahead, educate me.
This is the second time
Educate me.
I
Please
have tried
tell
to
me.
stop you. Okay. There will not be a third, okay? We're gonna try to act like adults here, okay? All right. You had to try to go back to 1923 to try to find an instance, okay, of lowering taxes, creating economic growth. 1923, nobody here was alive, okay, when that even fucking happened. The oldest person here isn't alive. And then we have literal decades of proving you wrong. And then we had an instance of trickle-down economics. It started with Reagan in the 80s. And then we saw the shrinking of the middle class, right? We start to see money stagnate towards the top. Right, we started to see things like freaking huge, wealth disparities and wealth transitions throughout our economic classes. All right, we started to see that, and then it carried on through George Bush. It carried on through Trump, and we see it again. We see a shortening of the middle class, and we see again all of our economic numbers starting to fail. We start to give all these tax cuts, and what happens? We have a higher unemployment rate, right? We start to see the value of the dollar go down, right? We start to see the shrinking of the middle class. We're seeing it right now. We saw it after the TCJA, and we're seeing it again. All right. So I don't know what you're talking about, sir. Obviously, corporations pay taxes because if corporations didn't pay taxes, then there would be no point in lowering the corporate tax rate. Donald Trump would be able to come in and go, "Oh, it doesn't matter whether the corporate tax rate is 0 or 1,000. It doesn't matter." The reason why he's lowering the corporate tax rate is because corporations pay a lot of taxes, and they appreciate him lowering that because it's all of his rich, powerful buddies that are getting the tax breaks.
You know what corporations do, sir? They go overseas.
We have seen zero correlation between raising the corporate tax rate in the United States and companies leaving to go overseas. Actually, after the TCJA and Donald Trump's first presidency, we actually saw a lot of traditional American companies leave. They got giant tax cuts and they left anywhere. John Deere, for example, Harley Davidson, they took their factories and they moved them to Mexico after the TCJA. All right. Companies don't move overseas and out of the largest consumer market on the planet because of taxation.
Well, they did because of tariffs.
They go overseas because labor cost is cheaper, and the corporations themselves, the actual heads of the corporation and the headquarters, do not move out of the United States. All right, they move overseas because labor costs are cheaper, natural resources are more abundant, right? And just some other countries are more tooled for doing that, especially places like China, places like Vietnam, right? They're India, right? They're a lot more tooled for things like that.
I completely agree, but I disagree with the tariff policies because I can look back at Smoot-Hawley and see how that exacerbated the Great Depression, and protectionist policies are never good. So I disagree with Trump on that, definitely. Raising taxes on people who create jobs is not your answer. It never has been.
Actually, it 100% is the answer, okay? Because what happens is, right, when you raise taxes on corporations, instead of them being able to get those tax cuts, which they then use for stock buybacks, they actually have to pay taxes in. And what you do is you use those taxes to then stimulate the middle and lower classes. What the middle and lower class does when they have money is they spend it. When they spend that money, it actually rejuvenates those companies, and then those companies actually do have to expand, right? And that actually creates jobs because people are spending more money. You build up those companies by actually forcing them to expand, by forcing them to hire, because business is so good, and you create good business by giving people in the middle class more money. And you do that by taxing rich people and corporations and using that to subsidize the middle and lower classes.
If you think I'm going to wait on you to tax the hell out of me, you are sadly mistaken.
Then fucking leave.
I will hire people like me who will make sure you never see a dime of that money.
Sir, again, do I look like the fucking...
And I will send it overseas.
Sir, do it. First of all. Second of all, okay, I'm still not the IRS, okay? I wasn't the IRS a few minutes ago, and I'm still not the IRS, okay? I don't write tax code. I don't enforce tax code. I don't do any of those things, sir. But if you want to do it, if you want to freaking, try to avoid taxes, if you want to try to avoid taxes or try to break federal tax law by sending your money in over places in order to avoid it, then go do it. And I hope they catch you, and I hope they send you to jail for a long time for doing it, okay?
No, I'm a CPA, and I use the tax code. Just like Trump said, you just don't get it because you're a progressive and you're a dumbass.
Sir, I don't do my own taxes. I have a CPA to do it also. Okay? Oh, he just ran. Holy shit. Yeah, apparently the IRS has just entered the chat. I don't know what the fuck that was. Don't hire him to be your CPA. Okay? If you need a CPA, don't hire whoever that guy was. Okay? He was not doing great. Yo, please make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Dude, I can barely work TurboTax. Okay? Don't come talking to me about this stuff. I can barely work TurboTax. Okay? Barely. All right. Ari, or Scott, thank you so much for the $2. Said, with you and Ari, why the hell do I pay for cable? I don't know. I don't know why anybody pays for cable. All right. I like literally, my life is a lot more entertaining and costs way less. Okay. Could be free, or it could be with a little small gift to help out the live, or becoming a member. Or a super fan. Lot cheaper than cable, I promise you. Thank you, Scott. Hunter, thank you so much for the bronze medal. Bowie, thank you so much for the torch. Scott also said trickle down when I've had fucking shit. Scott's on one today, dude. Scott's on one. Hunter, thank you so much for the $2 donation. Shush, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much for that 5 gifted over there. All right, well, I guess we're going to open up the phone lines, keep this thing going for another second. Make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Big tips in the chat for Shush, for the 5 gifteds, and Scott for just making me laugh a whole bunch today. Sounds like I can barely use CarPlay to find my accountant. Yeah. But if y'all would like support, I do have pay links in the bio, all at Polypolitics, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Also working on the corgis over here, so if you'd like to support that way, I appreciate that. And I also have super chats, super stickers, and these little gifty thingies, so I really appreciate that also. Phil, thank you so much for the $10. Said, because I haven't in a while and you're still running in my background. Hey, well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I do make great background noise, I've heard. I've also heard people like to fall asleep to me. I've also heard that, which makes me sound like I'm boring, which I don't know how I'm that, but hey, whatever. Truly, thank you so much for lighting up the corgis. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Truly. Oh, we're working on this gift gallery. Oh, we might actually get somewhere on this gift gallery today. Check that out. Oh, we're moving quite along. Oh, they got me some hard ones this time. They gave me some harder ones. Hello, how are you?
Hey, I'm good.
Awesome. How old are you?
41.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yes.
Awesome. Why is that?
I guess I'll piggyback off the economic policies I've been listening for a little bit, and a little bit of playing with the numbers too. I guess I'll start off with the tariffs. I guess I'll start off and say I'm a gearhead, so I kind of pay attention to cars a lot and car sales. And the tariffs, to me, were used as a tool. And really, I think other presidents should have used it as a tool. Other countries tariff us a lot, so we can't sell our products to other countries. That's why other countries don't carry our cars, is because they tariff us so high. So the people who would sell cars there from us don't, because it'll be ridiculously expensive.
Give me an example.
China, Japan, right off the bat.
China and Japan right off the bat. What's the tariff from Japan on U.S. cars?
I could look that up real quick.
I thought you knew it. You said they had giant tariffs on it. That's why we're not putting cars over there.
Right, and that's why we're leveraging our tariff.
No, but you're saying there's a giant tariff on them, equal. And I'm trying to figure out how you saying there's a giant tariff on it if you don't know what the tariff is.
Because I don't keep the stats in my brain all the time, and I don't have a computer in front of me.
Okay. Well, regardless. Okay. There's a lot of reasons why U.S. cars don't sell in Japan, by the way, regardless of any of that. Yeah, mostly because they're way too large and they don't pass emissions standards.
Okay, so it was at 125% tariff.
It was at 125%?
Down from 120. It is now at 10% because of what China was doing with the U.S. Now it's down to 10%. It was at 125%.
Yeah, it was 125% because Donald Trump came in and put 145% tariff on. Donald Trump put 145% tariff on, trying to raise theirs to 125, and then Donald Trump lowered his to 30, and then China put theirs down to 10.
Yes, but even back in 2018, China imposed a 40% tariff on U.S. cars.
Okay.
And Trump wasn't
And
doing
what's our tariff on Chinese
2018.
cars? Because I don't see any Chinese cars roaming around the United States.
There's no Chinese cars running around the United States.
I don't see a lot of them. Can you please name a brand?
Not Yeah, 1 second.
You're a gearhead and you can't name one Chinese company that's selling cars in the United States?
Actually, nope. That's right. I was thinking Japanese. I wanted to make sure before I misspoke. Japanese cars are
Gotcha.
in the
So
United
there's
States.
there's no American cars in China and no Chinese cars in America.
Right.
Seems seems pretty fucking even to me, bud.
But why is that?
Because we each had giant tariffs on each other.
Because why?
Probably because I don't know. Why is that? You're saying it was uneven though, sir. If neither of us are selling to either one, then that's even.
But that's what I'm saying is even before Trump was doing the tariffs, China was still imposing large tariffs on our
And we
cars.
were imposing large tariffs on their cars.
But theirs was larger. That's why I'm saying.
Why does
they
it
were
matter
down
if
from
they're larger if it
125%?
equates, sir? Why does it why does it matter if it was larger if both of them equate to 0 companies in each side?
But here's the thing: when you're going from 125% to recently 10%, I would say China would be more imposed to sell said cars compared to 125% tariffs or 100% tariffs.
What are you fucking, sir? We both have giant tariffs to the point where it does not make any sense between China and the United States. Neither of us sell to either of them, okay? The reason why is because we have giant tariffs on Chinese cars, and we had them before Trump as a protectionist tariff against for the U.S. auto industry. Okay? We had that well before because China makes way better cars for a whole shit ton less, okay? That is not a Trump policy.
I concede.
Okay.
I just conceded.
Then what are we
also
talking
have to
about?
concede it is at 10% now. Don't you think China will now sell U.S. cars if it's at 10% compared to 125? No. I would say so because other countries have 10% on us, and we sell cars there. I mean, logic: 2 + 2 = 4.
I don't know what kind of fucking, sir, I don't even know what kind of crackhead logic you're on right now. Are you saying because the United States lowered the tariff on China that now U.S. cars
vice versa. It's vice versa.
Yeah,
vice
why
versa.
did they
Not
lower the
because
tariffs? Sir, sir, they're not going to start selling U.S. cars over there. Okay?
Why would they not?
Because they're too expensive. They don't pass any of their safety standards, just like every other fucking country on the planet.
China, the place that has a bunch of coal mines.
I didn't
and
say
everything
emission
else,
standards, sir. I said safety standards. Yep. Plus, their cars are just better and cheaper.
Then why lower for cars the 10 down from 125% to 10% if they weren't planning on selling them? Why even bother touching that number whatsoever? If they weren't going to do it, if we weren't doing it the past 8, 10, 20, 30 years, why not leave it at 125%?
Sir, I don't have a problem with that. Okay? I don't think it bothers me. I don't care if they sell cars over there.
But that helps us make money. If we can't sell cars there,
how many cars were we selling there before Donald Trump put his tariffs on?
0.
Okay, and how many cars are we selling now?
None yet. It just went down 10% this past year. So do you expect them to have dealerships just spring up in a few months?
Yeah, why not? Start shipping cars over there.
I don't think so. Not when Japan holds all the chip power.
And now we're talking about Japan?
Well, Japan makes the chips.
Japan does not make chips.
They don't make chips for the cars.
No, Taiwan makes chips for the cars.
Sorry, Taiwan. I misspoke. You're right, Taiwan.
Yeah, and now we make the chips for the cars because we have all that chip manufacturing here. Well, a lot of it. We're moving it here.
Some. Taiwan has a lot more.
Yeah, they do.
Still, because they've been doing it.
Yep.
So they have, right now, the power with the chips. We're starting to, but they do a lot. But anyways, my original point was that if they lower the tariffs down, then we can start selling cars there and start bringing in money. That's why he was using the tariffs as a tool. And that was just one perspective on it. If you can use it for cars, you can use it for other products too when you're leveraging the tariffs. And then the tariffs go down, and then everything becomes equal. And that's why I think he did the 10% global tax instead of the other way, since the Supreme Court struck that down. I could be
So
wrong. I'm no economist.
real quick,
But
I wanted to pause you just real quick because I want to look at this thing where you're talking about China dropping their tariff from 125. That 125% tariff was what I said. It only became 125% after Donald Trump put on 145% in April of 2025. Okay, this all started, and China didn't even have those tariffs on U.S. cars prior to 2018. It wasn't until Donald Trump put on a 25% tariff against them that they started raising their tariff on U.S. automakers. Okay, China didn't have these tariffs until Donald Trump started raising our tariffs, and China followed us up and then followed us back down. This is not used as a trade negotiation. This was caused by Donald Trump. Okay. This was caused by Donald Trump, and now is coming down after Donald Trump got told that he couldn't do these tariffs. He created the problem and then stopped the problem. That doesn't count. You don't get credit for putting out the fire you started.
was he getting investments from other countries into this country for building businesses and producing products?
Who?
Just other companies from other countries,
Who?
whether it's
Name
from
one.
Europe. I can't name one offhand. That's why he was overseas doing trade deals.
Sir, what trade deal was actually codified from any country in existence on the planet?
1 second.
Have you guys thanked Donald Trump today? Just remember, thank Donald Trump. Check the Dow. Thank Donald Trump again.
GE Vernova announced it will invest nearly
No,
$600
sir.
million
What
into US
country,
manufacturing.
what trade deal with any other country was codified? That was the question.
No, I was saying other companies from other countries were investing into the United States.
GE's an American company. So that's not a foreign country. NVIDIA announced their investment under the Chips and Sciences Act in 2024. 2023, 2024. They actually agreed in billions of dollars of investment in 7 new factories.
Micron Technology.
Micron Technology, I don't know anything about them.
And then Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing, since we're on that.
That was also under the Chips and
billion.
Sciences Act. The TSMC is actually creates NVIDIA's chips.
No, I think that's a separate one from the CHIPS Act.
It is
This
not.
is not that deal.
Actually, TSMC already opened up a giant factory in Arizona in 2024, I believe, end of 2024, and they have and they're making a whole they already agreed to 6 more factories being built. They had already done that. That was under the Chips and Sciences Act, which put specific tariffs on semiconductors after COVID in order to bring Taiwanese semiconductors to the United States.
Okay. Roche, RHHBY.
Sir, are you just going to read a whole list? Because I don't know every company on the planet. Okay.
But you asked for me to name some, so
you're just like, you name one and then I prove you wrong, and then I name one, you just prove like, bro, you haven't looked up any of these companies.
This
Sir,
is November 23rd, 2025. So this is
sir,
not.
You don't know any of these companies. You don't know if this investment.
2022.
You don't know that. You just named TSMC, and that was from earlier. You named NVIDIA, that was from earlier. You named GE as a foreign company.
This is from 247wallstreet.com as of November 23rd, 2025.
Okay.
It's not like there's no one investing in the United States from the tariffs that he was leveraging.
There's not.
That's all.
There's one. It's Apple.
And another one, which I just listed, that was November 23rd.
Sir, what company is it?
It's called Roche, ROCHE.
What do they do?
That's for, let's see. U.S. manufacturing and R&D facilities.
Mm-hmm. That's funny. First thing I pull up is Roche to reconsider U.S. investment project if Trump follows through on pricing order.
I mean, you admitted Apple too. I didn't even get to Apple yet.
Yeah. By the way, the Roche thing wasn't because of tariffs. Okay. That was because of renegotiation of pharmaceuticals. That was completely separate, right? But that's like some Trump RX shit. All right. That actually has very little to do with the tariffs.
renegotiating of pharmaceuticals. Don't you think that would kind of have to do between us doing stuff more than China, because China produces more of our medicine that we buy?
Whole bunch of countries produce a whole bunch of medicine that we buy, okay? But that was a completely different thing. That wasn't even anything that was like really tariff related.
But the product itself comes from, a lot of it comes from China, I guess.
A lot of it comes from all sorts of places. Yeah, some of it comes from China, but some of it comes from Europe. It comes from all over the place.
A majority of our medicine comes from China, though.
Sir, even if it fucking does, all right? Did we see freaking drug prices skyrocket higher than they already were? No. The tariffs.
No.
We didn't see that. We're talking about the tariff stuff that's going on, sir.
No, but
Okay.
that's
What I'm saying is that, sir,
thank you for bringing that up.
Sir,
Thank you for saying that.
no companies started investing in the United States, okay? Because no company would go to invest in the United States, because everybody was waiting for the Supreme Court decision to come down to tell consumers whether or not the Supreme Court was going to say that Donald Trump's use of tariffs under IEEPA was legal. It's not. So now why is any company going to invest?
Then why were the other countries changing their tariffs on us?
Other countries were agreeing to deals that had not been codified, okay? And now that they're not being now that they're not doing it, there's no reason to codify it, right? Like the EU specifically had a trade deal when it came to tariffs, okay? And now the EU is not going to codify their trade deal. It doesn't look like they're going to codify their trade deal, and they're backing out of it because there's no point, because Donald Trump's tariffs are illegal under IEEPA, right? The India was actually supposed to meet on creating trade deals this week. They've already backed out of it, right? They're not even going to show up to trade talks anymore. It's actually making a bunch of countries that actually did actually do, somewhat kind of deals with Donald Trump. It's making them look like idiots, right? They all look like morons now.
I actually agree with you.
Yeah. And so now no
I do
country is
agree
going
with you.
now no country is going to do it. There's not a country out there that's going to be willing to do a deal with Donald
No.
Trump now, because he made a bunch of countries look like idiots, because every country that actually stood up to him and actually said, "We're not lowering our stuff because you want to be a bully," all of them look like fucking geniuses now.
But the ones that, like I said, I agree with you, that made them look stupid, those are the countries that are two-faced. 100%, and that's what Trump was trying to prove. These countries can tariff the living hell out of us, and we can't touch them.
Sir, what country was tariffing the living hell out of us?
I don't think there should be tariffs at all.
Sir, what
Zero.
country was tariffing the living shit out of us? What country? The only one you've been able to name is China at 125%, and they only did that after the US put their tariff at 145%. Donald Trump was the one that created that. What country was tariffing the shit out of us? Which country?
Canada.
Canada, the one we had a literal free trade agreement with, that was negotiated and signed by Donald Trump in his first term. Canada?
Prior to the first term.
Before the first term, when we were under NAFTA, the literal North American Free Trade Agreement. We literally had a free trade agreement with Canada. And you're saying they were tariffing the shit out of us?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Nope. They sure as fuck weren't. We had so much open trade with Canada. It was like our biggest trading partner. We had so much open trade with Canada. It was insane. Okay. And then we put a bunch of tariffs on them. Then they had to start putting a bunch of fucking tariffs on us. And now that Canada's making deals straight with China and not even using us anymore. Because there's no point. Because we're the ones that freaking that don't know what the hell we're doing. Europe's making deals with South America, right? Everybody's just making deals around us.
So if that's the case, if you're saying these countries were not tariffing us at all,
I didn't say they weren't tariffing us at all. Of course, they had certain tariffs. There were certain tariffs that other countries had. There were certain tariffs that were targeted on certain products that they had. They also use protectionist tariffs just like we use protectionist tariffs, right? We have protectionist tariffs on things like the U.S. auto industry. We have protectionist tariffs on chips right now, right? We have protection on steel. We have certain protectionist tariffs, and other countries also have protectionist tariffs. Okay, but that doesn't mean that they were tariffing us at this super high rate, or in order to inhibit trade or to do any of these things. They were doing things to protect certain industries in their countries, just like we do. Okay, but there wasn't some huge like conspiracy out there for everybody to be like, oh, let's see if we can get America. That wasn't happening, sir. It wasn't happening.
so we just imposed tariffs that were through the roof on them for nothing.
For literally no fucking reason.
Just because.
Because
They weren't
Donald
tariffing
Trump,
us more
Trump
we were
is
tariffing
stuck
them.
in the 1970s and thinks that tariffs are a way to some type of negotiating tool or some type whatever the fuck. It was not because of that. He didn't even claim it was because they're high tariffs most of the time. He usually said it was because of a trade deficit, which doesn't even make sense. You wouldn't impose tariffs based on a trade deficit. That doesn't even make sense.
Well, and because our jobs were going overseas too, yes?
Our jobs are still going overseas. The tariffs are not going to do anything. The tariffs are not going to do anything to help them.
That's not going to stop jobs from going overseas, but he wants to bring further jobs to be imported in the United States.
Donald Trump has not created a tariff that will do that.
That's why he wants those companies to invest in the United States, is to leverage those tariffs and bring companies back.
Yeah, companies aren't going to bring tariffs back, aren't going to bring manufacturing jobs back. It's not going to happen. Okay, Donald Trump's tariffs aren't even high enough. Okay, to offset the labor cost, and that's just one of the many costs. It's not even enough to offset the labor costs.
I would say the new 10% global tariff might offset the labor costs.
You think somebody making a median household income of $4 in China is now, with a 10% tariff or a 15% tariff, is now going to move a manufacturing here where they have to pay them $25 an hour? You think that's going to, a 10% tariff is going to offset that?
No. China's a different monster. I'll agree with you on that.
Fucking India, Vietnam, you name the country. Please tell me where the cost of labor in those countries is going to be offset by a 10% tariff, where they're going to start bringing factories over here. Not going to happen.
I would say it would be more likely than not than tariffing the living crap out of them to bring businesses over here.
They are equally as likely to bring jobs over here, and the likelihood is zero.
Well, if you level everything out, that everything is the same rate across the board, I think they'd be more inclined to do so.
Why?
Instead of, one country's 100% tariff, another country's 5%, the next country's 20%. If you level it across the board and everything's equal, I think they'd be more inclined to bring it over here.
Why?
Because everything would be equal. No country is being disaffected.
That doesn't answer the question. You're saying they would do it because it's equal. Why would they do it because it's equal? Because it's equal. Because that doesn't answer the question.
If we're doing 10% across the board, they would have no reason to go higher than that to us across the board. Then we can bring businesses back, and the other businesses go to them, and back and forth. It works evenly.
Nope. These countries are going to put the same tariffs that they had on before, because the reasons they had nothing to do with the United States. It had everything to do with protecting their industry. They are going to do exactly what they were doing before. They're not going to be like, oh, we don't give a shit about our own industry now that the United States has changed their tariff to 10%. That doesn't even make any sense.
China's industry is a different ball game because they don't pay their workers crap, and if they paid them anything where we pay our workers, I think that would change the game a lot, wouldn't you?
They don't have to. The cost of living is cheaper over there, so they don't have to.
When you're living on top of each other, of course it would.
Correct.
I mean,
They also have
that's why the cost of living is cheaper.
they also have incredibly high social safety nets. They also have free healthcare. They also, or subsidized government subsidized healthcare. Their cost of
don't get
living
me
is
on the
just
free
simply.
healthcare. Go to Canada. Just go across the border there.
I think
see how the free healthcare works.
Excellent.
Because
Actually,
you'd probably be dead
they
before
rank.
you get to see a
They
doctor.
actually rank much higher than us on healthcare on the World Index, according to World Population Review. And the only difference between China and theirs is that in the United States you get treatment based off of how much money you have, and in Canada you get treatment based off of how sick you are.
Right, but the wait list and
the wait list is only long if you're not that sick, because they're prioritizing people that are sicker. Yeah.
Well, that's the problem.
If you need a surgery and you really don't need it,
the problem is diagnosing if you're sicker. Right? You could feel sick and be worse off than you think, but you're waiting in line to be diagnosed for something that could be more serious.
Yeah, that doesn't happen. Yeah, you can get diagnosed that fucking day in Canada. Yeah.
Not if you're on the waiting list for just being kind of sick.
There is no waiting list. There is no waiting list for getting diagnosed, sir. I'm talking about a waiting list for things like surgery. There is no waiting list for getting diagnosed. You can just go to the fucking hospital and get diagnosed. Yeah, that just happens just the first day. Yeah.
You can't just go to a hospital and get diagnosed. You have to go see a normal primary care doctor first. You just don't go into a hospital like that's how that works.
You are if you're sick enough to need to go to the hospital today. Then you go to an emergency room.
Attack or something like that. Yes.
You know you can go to an emergency room without having a heart attack, right? You've never lived someplace with lived someplace with universal health care, have you?
No.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking awesome, dude. Yeah, there's a reason out of the 33 developed countries on the planet, 32 of them have universal health care, and we're the only ones that don't. You would think after watching all of them that we would have figured out that maybe everybody else has the right idea and not us.
If that was the case, how good did they do during COVID?
How did they do during COVID? Just about as well as us, depending on the country.
Yeah.
Some countries did a lot better. Some countries did a lot worse.
Right. And the countries with universal health care didn't necessarily do better.
Yeah, because universal health care doesn't make you more apt to be able to deal with a global pandemic. I'm talking about normal health care, sir. It's a global pandemic. Nobody was fucking ready. Actually,
anyway,
depending on how bad you did, actually had a lot more to do with how old your population was, like how many smokers you had. Like places like Italy did not do very well, right? A lot older population, a high level of smokers. They didn't do great. All right, places like in the Baltics, places in like the Nordic countries, they did excellent, right?
Which is it's kind of funny to me because I listen to you a lot, and well, this is just this one little thing over COVID. Is it doesn't seem, and I don't know if anybody's ever brought this argument up before, but or if you have, but for any complaints that you have over Trump, I'm surprised nobody ever brings up the BS vaccine that was forced that Trump started. Nobody talks about that.
Yeah, people bring it up all the time. They just don't do very well with it.
Oh, okay. Or the lockdowns. I mean, that's the only thing I would say for me that I don't like. Who was Trump started, but
yeah. So, who was forced to get a vaccine?
People who have to work in certain sectors.
What sector?
Military, medical.
Military gets forced to get all sorts of freaking vaccines. They actually sign up. It's actually part of their contract when they sign up. You will take whatever vaccine we fucking tell you to take. You ever heard of Japanese encephalitis?
No.
Oh, military people get vaccinated for that. Yeah. You know, military people military people still get vaccinated for smallpox.
Right, but the shot didn't work. We know that now. The shot didn't work, so they were forced.
We do know that it worked, but regardless of whether the shot works or not, military people are forced into all.
We were told by Fauci right off the bat, and this is for him.
Sir.
You are 99.7% not going to get COVID by taking the shot.
He literally never said that. He literally never said that.
He did. And then it was there's breakthrough cases.
he literally never said that. Like literally, like unequivocally did not fucking say
his
that.
first thing
That
about
is a
mass was, well,
that is
it
a
might
that
stop
is
a few
a
of the big
that is a
molecules,
that is a
but the mass won't
bullshit.
really stop anything.
Hey. That is a bullshit and unequivocal fucking lie. Okay?
No.
There's not a
Trump put him on the stand, like,
sir, I'm
every
about to
day.
mute you. Okay? Thank you. There's not a fucking vaccine on the planet that works 99.7% of the time. The polio vaccine doesn't work 99.7% of the time, and that pretty much eradicated fucking polio. The measles vaccine doesn't work 99.7% of the time, and that pretty much eradicated measles. Okay? There is not a vaccine on the planet that can stop you from getting a disease 99.7% of the time. That does not happen. And I'm pretty sure Dr. Fauci knows that. Okay?
He said that it would protect you from getting COVID.
It did not.
At first. And then he said there were breakthrough cases. And then the percentage dropped. And then the boosters had to come out. That's literally the timeline. But even before that, back up before the vaccine, way before that, with the mask, Fauci said wearing a mask would, it'll start stopping some of the big molecules, but it really won't protect you.
Sir, this is
and then a month and a half later.
Sir, I feel like people like that like make arguments like you're saying right now, which by the way, again, half the shit you're saying is not true.
Sorry. I was mistaken on the 99.7%.
I know you were.
Said 94 to 95% protecting you.
Sir,
I was wrong by 3%.
I think that a lot of people like that make arguments like you just have just don't understand science or like vaccines or like the way that like
they changed the definition of vaccines during that.
Sir, I'm going to finish my sentence here, okay? They never changed the definition of vaccines. Okay?
They did.
They did not. Now be quiet, okay? When you have a new virus and you have a new vaccine and you're trying to figure out in real time, okay, how something works, how freaking, how things are spreading, what's going on with something, then you're wrong a lot, okay? Nobody expects doctors and scientists that come out with literally groundbreaking things we've never dealt with, to be 100% right all the time, except for you guys for some reason. Okay. You guys, for some reason, think that Fauci existing there, he's like, oh, he said something. Well, if he says something and things change, well, we're going to hold him to the first fucking thing that he said. Okay. No, he said something based off of the information that he had. And then we did research and things progressed and things moved. And then, oh shit. Things change. Now there's new information. Now we release new information. And then we keep researching, we keep finding out information, and then things change and we release new information, okay? You're not supposed to just know everything from the get-go. And if that was your expectation, okay, I can see very much why you were disappointed. Okay.
Oh, it wasn't my expectation. I didn't want to take a
but
shot
it
at
is. But it was your expectation, because now you're saying, oh shit, he said something and the situation changed and we got more information and then he changed his mind. So therefore he must be the worst person ever because science happened. Okay, that's not the way things fucking work. You completely pivoted off the fact of who was forced to get a vaccine, which by the way was fucking nobody. Okay, zero
it was
people.
The military. It was nurses.
Even the
military.
Even in the military.
They were forced.
Sir, no, they were not. Okay.
So the nurses were not forced, because I have friends that are nurses that were forced to do there, or
they were.
had to leave.
Oh, so the government came, grabbed them, held them down, and stuck a vaccine in their arm.
No, the hospitals, because the CDC said a recommendation. They said that.
So the hospital did it, not the government. So the hospital came, held them down, stabbed them in the neck. That's what happened.
No, they forced them by saying either you do this or you don't have a job.
So they didn't.
That's
they
forcing.
didn't force them. They gave them a choice.
So
if the hospital says that, so if the hospital says you have to show up on time or you won't have a job, is that forcing them to show up on time? Or is that giving them a choice?
No.
If the hospital says you have to wear scrubs or you don't have a job, right? Should we call, take that up to the Supreme Court because they're forcing them to do something? Or are they
If that
giving
is
them?
what you,
Or are
if,
they
if
giving
that
them
is
the
what you went
sir?
to school for,
Or
and that's your livelihood to support your family, it is.
if that was the case, I would go and get
It
a
is
shot.
being forced.
I would do the things that are required of me to be able to do that job. But
No,
let's
I
also be
wouldn't. I
very
wouldn't.
clear. But
But
let's also be
you
very
also
clear.
agreed
But
that
let's
the science.
also be very clear that not a single one of those fucking hospitals didn't give a choice between actually getting tested every single day or going to get the vaccine. Even the military. Okay, for the large majority said if you're willing to get tested every day or whatever the freaking duration is, then you can stay in the military until we figure this thing out and you don't have to get the vaccine. They just had the choice, okay, in between getting tested with a certain level of frequency or getting the vaccine or leaving their job. Okay, but nobody held a single person down in the United States and forced them to get a vaccine. Okay, they gave
agree.
them a choice. All right, you
Yes.
don't like
Lose
that
your
choice.
livelihood, or get an experimental
Or get
shot.
tested. And it wasn't experimental. Or get tested.
It was very experimental. It came out how fast? Did I say that?
Over 40 years?
No, it wasn't over 40 years.
Yes,
COVID-19 was
that
not something that was.
Yeah, but the
that
vaccine
was
started getting
done
tested in
a wet
the
market.
1980s, sir.
That was no. There's a difference between COVID and COVID-19.
What kind of
There's different
vaccine
strains.
was used?
Was that the SARS-2?
Nope.
SARS-CoV-2?
Nope. What kind of vaccine?
That I'm not sure.
Sir, then how are you telling me it was too fast if you don't know what kind of vaccine it was?
Because it was literally called by the Trump administration Operation Warp Speed to create this vaccine.
Yeah, what they
Or else it
used
would have
is
already been there.
sir. What they used was an mRNA vaccine that they changed, okay, in order to adapt to the
Exactly.
current that they changed in order to adapt to the current mutation, okay,
Right.
of the COVID-19 because there had been tons of COVID already, and they had already created vaccines for them that already worked, and they just changed it for the variant. No different than the way
So they created something new.
Sir, I swear if you can be quiet for a second, you might accidentally learn something. Okay? Guess what? Do you ever get the flu vaccine? Because they change that
No.
every fucking year also. Okay?
No, I haven't got that since I was like 13.
Yeah, they
And I haven't
change
had the flu.
they change the flu vaccine every single year also, okay? It doesn't mean that it's a new vaccine. It means that the variations of influenza change, so they have to tweak the vaccine in order to deal with the newest version of influenza. Okay? Just like they just tweaked the mRNA vaccine to use with the newest mutation of COVID. All right. It wasn't this new crazy technology, this new experimental vaccine. They weren't testing it at the Resident Evil lab. Okay. It was just a simple vaccine. All right. It was not a big deal. All right. There was negative side effects to that vaccine. There's negative side effects to every vaccine. Okay. Some people had adverse reactions to it. People have adverse reactions to every single vaccine that ever exists. People have adverse reactions to freaking Tylenol. Okay.
No, I agree with that,
Okay,
but myocarditis. Where was the extreme myocarditis problems from other vaccines?
Sir. All sorts of vaccines have all different ones. You didn't even know what kind of vaccine it was. So please don't try to school me on what kind of problems this vaccine has when you don't even know, okay, what kind of vaccine it was, okay? There's been tons of actually a lot more experimental vaccines that have happened throughout American history, which have done amazing things for American history and for the world. Okay. The polio vaccine was actually incredibly experimental and saved literally millions of lives. All right.
Yes, especially when they first started out with the polio vaccine and killed a bunch of people doing it. That was the right way.
Sir, it saved millions of lives and it was way more experimental. This one
At
wasn't.
the cost of what? At the cost of what?
At the cost of maybe less people.
Insane.
At the cost of killing other people, not knowing what it was going to do, just saying,
Sir, but
hey,
that
let's
wasn't
stick this
this.
needle in someone's arm
Sir.
and see what happens.
Sir. But this wasn't this. Okay. This wasn't experimental. Been around for 4 decades.
And it's still killing people.
The
The shot was
vaccine.
still killing people.
Sir,
It's still giving
Tylenol
negative
kills people. Should we get rid of Tylenol?
40, you just said 40 years, right?
Sir,
40
should
years.
Tylenol still kills people? Should we get rid of Tylenol?
If you're taking 2 pills,
Tylenol,
it's killing
no.
you. There's
Sir, to
a
this
problem.
day,
if you're taking
sir.
the whole bottle, then there's yeah.
No, sir. There are people currently, right now, that first time take Tylenol, have an adverse reaction, and die. Should we get rid of Tylenol?
If that's the case, then yes.
Oh, gotcha. So that would require that every single medication that exists, okay, every single medication that exists, we should take off the market immediately. Okay. Sometimes cancer treatment kills people. We should stop curing cancer, right? Like no matter what drug you have, like freaking like allergy medications, got to take them off the shelves because sometimes there's adverse reactions and they kill people.
Yes, but
That has got to be the dumbest. That has got to be the dumbest. That has got to be the dumbest argument I have ever heard in my entire life.
When it goes from sometimes to a larger amount, then
sure,
yes,
it was
should
just
be
for a
taken off
larger
the
amount
market.
because a lot more people were getting it all at one time. That's it. It wasn't any higher than any other vaccine as far as percentages go. Okay. It was just a lot of people were getting it.
Or severe side effects. I mean, hearts just stopping, blood clots, myocarditis, a lot of myocarditis.
Sir, please, sir.
From
please,
healthy younger people, not old.
Sir. You don't know anything about what you're fucking talking about. Okay? So please stop. All right? Please don't. You are literally coming into this conversation with no weapons, okay, and trying to fight. Okay? There are so many vaccines that cause freaking blood clots. Okay? And you're over here being like, oh, they got blood clots in yeah. Young, healthy people get blood clots from very, very well used used medications. Okay? Do people eat peanut butter sandwiches and fucking die? Okay? You can't use people having adverse reactions in a very small amount. Okay? And saying that somehow the entire thing is bad.
Small.
Sir.
Is that a subjective number from you to someone else?
Just as objective as anything that you're saying is large. Okay?
If you have a lifelong side effect.
Sir, I am done having this conversation with you.
Okay, so then I'll just move on then to the numbers. I guess earlier you were talking about population moving in and out of different states. I live in Illinois, and I know sometimes this goes back and forth on how the numbers are cherry-picked. But same thing like California, you're right, population has grown. But if you look at the people who left in the last decade compared to the people who have come in, it's about 2 to 3 million people more that have left than have come into the state of California. Same thing. That's like Pritzker.
Yeah, they had a population decline during COVID, and then they had a population increase, and they've already caught back up. So what?
Right, but the actual people who left the state compared to coming into the state, they show the people who left in the last decade was about 10 million, 9 million, somewhere around there. And the people who came into California was about 7 million.
Yeah, they're about caught up.
No, but still, that's 3 million or 2 million more that left the state.
So the fuck
came
what?
into the state.
California can't increase in population forever. It's only so big. You know that, right?
Right, but like states like Texas, that's number 2 of the United States for population growth from people incoming into the state, not people being born in the state.
And?
Well, it's just showing on the economy of each individual state or
California's economy has increased every single one of those years. Even when they lost people, their economy increased. Even when they lost people, their median household income increased.
No,
even when they lost
agree
people, they got more money in there. So what's your fucking point?
With the economy. I never disagreed with the economy on California or in those states.
Then what's your point of this conversation?
That people are getting sick and tired of the states, and that's why more are leaving than more are coming in.
Sir, more people are coming in. There was a huge drop in California population, and then it started increasing again. And guess what? In 10 more years, there's going to be a drop in California's population, and then it's going to increase back up. It has nothing to do with it. You are taking an inference of saying that people left, okay? And you're saying, oh, it's because people are sick of California. No, they're fucking not, sir. People that live in California are very, very fucking happy. People leave states for all sorts of fucking reasons. People move for all sorts of fucking reasons, okay? You're making an inference saying that you believe that because there was a population decrease for a while and now there's a population increase, that somehow that's because they're sick of democratic policy. There's nothing showing that. There's no data to show that. There's no proof of any of that. That is just you making up shit to fucking feel better.
I've only said about 3 sentences, so I don't know how much shit I really could have made up.
Because I just had this argument with the last guy and I'm really already over it. All right. But anyways, I'm actually over having this conversation with you in general. So I'm gonna get off the phone. So bye. Anyways, y'all. Make sure you guys hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Yeah, people are very happy in California. I don't know why people are so like freaking out over here. But anyways, y'all, I've been on for over 3 hours, so I got to get off the live. Make sure you guys are joining the Discord so you guys know when I go live. It really helps when you guys are here nice and early. Helps to build up the live nice and early, and we get a lot more calls a lot early instead of having to wait until so far to get it going. So if you guys can do that, please join the Discord. Set your notifications on so you guys know when I go live, especially over there on YouTube. Please make sure you guys send those notifications so you know when that happens. Frankie, thank you so much for the $5. Says most jobs they would not hire you or fire you as if you didn't get the vaccine. That's extortion, I think. Yeah, there was no jobs that did that. There was no jobs that did that. You had lots of options. They just say, "Oh, you were forced," in order to try to, I don't know, they say they're taking something away from you. No, they're not. It's ridiculous. And Scott said, off to bed. Glad you made me chuckle. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Hunter said, ever thought about going into politics? I think about it all the time, and then I forget about it all the time. No, I have to get off. Guys, I do have a job I have to go to in the morning, okay? I have to get off live. All right? I have to go get sleep and stuff. All right? But I do love you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. I'll see you guys later, okay? Love you guys. Bye. Oh, I didn't even see. Sorry. Kari, thank you so much. I missed that one. I apologize. Thank you so much. See you guys later. Bye.